right, thank you for turning in to the Turnbuckle tapes. I am Liam, and I'm here with my tag team partner, Sean.
Hello, welcome in. We're doing things a little bit differently this weekend. We're kind of on an off week with TWF shows. We don't really have an interview lined up, so we're doing something a little bit special on the show today.
Yeah. Decided to cover Wrestlemania 2000 that took place on April 2nd, 2000 at the Anaheim Pond.
Now, Liam, why did you decide that we should review this? There's a big reason why are we reviewing this show.
So I was actually at that WrestleMania at the Anaheim
Pond.
Yeah, my mom took me to that one, so that was my WrestleMania experience.
Where were you seated?
I honestly don't remember. I could probably find out and post, but post online. But yeah, it was kind of crazy coming back to this like 25 years later, because it's like my whole journey coming back to it. So it's kind of, in a sense, like I'm seeing again for the first time. But there's things like I remember the Hardcore Battle Royal and the triple threat tag ladder match with Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys, and the Dudleys, and then obviously the main event, the Fatal 4-Way with McMahon in every corner as the tagline.
McMahon in every corner. WrestleMania 2000 Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Buy it, bitch.
Oh my God. Yeah, so we watched the Sunday Night Heat prior to this WrestleMania. Oh, jumping the gun here.
Pause. You and I both watched Sunday Night. However, when researching these shows and finding the files for us to watch, I found what's considered the Peacock / Netflix, if you're international, rip, which runs about 3 hours and 18 minutes. I also was able to find the OG broadcast, which is 3 hours and 58 minutes. So there's 40 minutes of differences between the current Netflix broadcast and what the OG broadcast was. While doing this, found the file for Sunday Night Heat, which we'll get into. But I found out WWF did a 8 to 12 hour pregame show like it was the Super Bowl, like for WrestleMania 2000. Like you think about the Super Bowl, how like Jim Nance here, CBS Sports, and today we're going to talk to Travis Kelce, and we're going to ask him what it is like to take a bowel movement in Taylor Swift's private jet. All this and more leading up to Super Bowl 69's pregame show, kickoff extravaganza. Like that's literally what this was, and it was unhinged. Like they did highlight videos for every WrestleMania that happened in the past. I think Ivory switched her outfits for each one. Like every time they were in Ivory would change her outfit. There was a highlight package for WWF Access, and the biggest thing to me that's noticed in this is Big Show. I'm so excited I can pee my pants.
I can pee my pants, yeah.
Hillbilly Jim gets introduced and gets a little handsy with Ivory. He tells her that she'd make a great Ellie Mae. That was awkward. Vince McMahon starts talking about Hulk Hogan, and Hogan's in WCW at the time, so he can't help himself but Barry Hogan. Hulk couldn't really pass the torch. So he just shits all over him. We get a story about the Nasty Boys leaving one of the tag team belts with Willie Nelson at WrestleMania 7. JR shits all over WCW when he talked about him debuting at WrestleMania 9. I was toiling in the minor leagues. Fuck that place for real. Mick Foley gets interviewed halfway through. We're halfway through, so this is 4 hours in. I didn't watch this whole thing. I just skimmed through for shit that like stood out to me. Mick Foley gets a promo, and he's interviewing. He's talking about how he's worked himself up for the Rumble and No Way Out matches. And I thought those were the last matches of my career. Foley really pulling out his Terry Funk here. He'll retire and come back a lot.
Yeah.
I'm calling hype mode. We're 4 hours away from WrestleMania. Like, oh my God, dude, 4 hours of this shit? No. I kind of fast forward because I'm starting to get bored with this bullshit. I noted that while Ivory changed all the time, Michael Cole was in the same generic WWF logo button-up shirt for the whole 8 hours. His ass didn't have to change. Michael Cole gives everyone a warning because this was on the pay-per-view channel because you had to pay extra for this. So this was like an additional thing people paid for. he warns people about like 30 minutes before WrestleMania starts. 7:28, 7 Eastern time, or 7:28, 7:30 Eastern time. You're gonna lose your picture. A transmission glitch. Don't call your operator. It's going to happen. It's a great time to go to the soda, go get a soda from the fridge, get a big plate of sandwiches, and enjoy WrestleMania, which is an hour away. I love how he specifically says big plate of sandwiches. Like everyone
go
just
get
has
some finger foods.
Everyone's got sandwiches just chilling in the refrigerator ready to eat. Last thing I have noted here about this WrestleMania all day long before we get into the Sunday Heat. They touch on WrestleMania 15 and the Brawl for All. I can't remember what agent, but like they're just basically like Butterbean's a boxer, Bart Gunn's an entertainer. They just can't help but bury this guy for actually winning a tournament he wasn't supposed to win.
Yeah.
And then Rock and Austin bet $20 on the Brawl for All, and Austin never paid Rock his $20. Dude, this was chaos. This was like absurd, mindless fucking television content for the sake of getting your extra $15.95 or whatever they charged. Like, I guess the highlight videos were cool for those who like wanted to see that, but oh my god. Also have to remember this was 2000. This wasn't like media was available on Reddable request or anything. I couldn't just go boop these clips up. So like TV was still kind of appointment viewing at this point. Like you had to watch it or you had to wait for the replay on Tuesday, even though you also saw the stills on Monday Night Raw and all that shit.
Yeah, no, that's how I had it dealt with the WCW time frame that I was watching. But yeah, it's definitely like a weird time because it's like even some of the commercials when I was watching the OG broadcast, like they had like the Tony Hawk commercials and then like some of the.
You noticed those too on Sunday Heat. Some of the because it's a Canadian broadcast that I found, so it's completely like commercials American broadcasts wouldn't get either. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that was definitely a little time capsule of its time, and it was cool to kind of revisit that.
I mean, that's a great lead into Sunday Night Heat since that's where we get these commercials.
Yeah. But what's funny is that it starts off with like Michael Hayes and Kevin Kelly, and then they're showcasing the package from Access, like they're just really blasting this thing throughout the whole entire fucking like time that WrestleMania is airing. And then while we actually went to the Access event too. So I just remember standing in line the whole time just to meet The Rock and Stone Cold, and then I had to take a picture of my mom. I never got a picture with The Rock. I don't even remember getting a picture with Stone Cold. I think I got like an autograph in like the autograph book that they had. But like in the picture with my mom, you can see like the picture kind of have like my thumb like over the camera. Like I'll have to see if I can get that but yeah, that was a cool little time. But what was funny during the broadcast of Sunday Night Heat, Kevin Kelly's like, "Oh yeah, I got carpal tunnel from signing so many autographs," and I'm thinking like, who the fuck's excited to meet Kevin Kelly? Like, what?
A young Rob Naylor before he gets into NXT is there asking for autographs. Oh my god! Yeah, no. Who is asking? Like, who's asking for Kevin Kelly's autograph? Excalibur. Like, he turned into play with it. But Excalibur was a wrestler at that point in 2000. So
yeah, that was just something that made me laugh.
Oh man, the commercials on this broadcast were nuts. I didn't realize it was Canadian till I got to the Much Music commercial. That was for their like big shiny tunes. Now this is music volume whatever. Like I was like, oh, Much Music is totally Canadian, and like they're going through their hits, and it's American Woman by Lenny Kravitz, Scar Tissue by Red Hot Chili Peppers, and all of a sudden there's these bands I've never heard of, like the Tea Party and Matthew Good Band. Dude, good on Canada. Good on Canada for pushing their own stuff, not just the American pop music. Like that was cool. That was really cool to see. I was like, yeah, good job, Canada.
Yeah, Canada is like definitely about their own like artists and broadcasting them. Like I know they have like the Juno Awards and stuff like that, so they're definitely proud of the people that come from, the great nation of Canada.
They love their own Canadians. I also have noted because you brought up the Tony Hawk Pro Skater commercial earlier. It's the commercial we get. It says it's now available on N64 and Game Boy Color. Screw you, Sony of Canada.
We roll with Nintendo in these parts.
We roll Nintendo in Canada. Like I was like, damn, shots fired.
Yeah, that was a crazy commercial to see, just because I played a lot of Tony Hawk, just kind of like sidebar, but I never played Tony Hawk on the N64, which was like a weird thing, I guess, in this instance. But yeah, the one thing that I did like was that they had the promotion where if you get all the wrestling pay-per-views, you get like a free satellite dish.
Yeah, the
like,
Canadian
fuck yeah.
podcast. You buy all 12 WWF pay-per-views and you get a satellite and a box. I was like, that's a good ass deal. I get another fucking receiver for my box. If I have a family, like, yeah, now we don't have to fucking all watch the same shit. You can watch whatever you want. I can watch my WWF pay-per-views. Oh yeah, dude.
Already got them
awesome.
Prepaid.
The WWF Power Slam package, I think is what they called it.
Yeah.
4 easy payments at $89 plus shipping. Yeah. Dude, more Canadian lore. Instead of having like Barnes and Noble, they have chapters. You get your Roxas book at chapters.
Okay, that's why I never heard of chapters. That makes sense now.
Dude, oh man, there was, what else did I notice that was super Canadian of their commercials? Oh, the last thing on this super Canadian highlight of their commercials. They were hyping hockey highlights. And they were showing highlights from the 70s of dudes just not wearing helmets, just running into each other.
That's fucking
I was
dope.
like, oh my God, we're watching wrestling, which is typically CTE, but we're getting CTE clips on fucking hockey games. Let's go.
Oh, man.
It was nuts.
But yeah, and so they moving on with this whole Sunday Night Heat was pretty much just a giant promo for WrestleMania. No wrestling. We
didn't get a match. Not a match at all. Yeah, it literally was just promo time. Kurt Angle shows up in the building with his medals and belts. 70 McMahon's getting
hear the fucking gold dripping off that man.
Yeah.
Just like all the clacking and shit.
Yeah, clack, clack, clack. 70 McMahon's getting her first interview since becoming the women's champion. We get mindless time consumption asking the fans who's going to win the 4-way elimination title. Now, I got to ask you, how old were you when you went to this show?
I was about like 12, roughly.
12-year-old Liam. Who's winning the main event?
I was honestly a Rock fan at that time. So it was definitely rooting for him. We'll get into the We'll get
into that gritty, but I just wanted to know who at this point if WWF was to come ask you, be like, oh, we're doing the same for Sunday Night Heat, who's gonna win? And you'll be like, well, I smell what the Rock is cooking, kind of thing, right?
No, yeah, okay. It would have been me. I wouldn't have to like push up my eyebrow like the one dude did. So I had to rewind it because I was like, why did he do it with his hand? And I was like, oh, he's pushing up his fucking eyebrow.
Yeah, that was crazy. The kids are doing it. What else do we get here? XFL's coming. They just made the announcement that the XFL is here.
Yeah.
NBC is partnering with Vince McMahon. And I have the most ironic thing listed here because I didn't get the name of the person who said this, but they said like WWF should help draw with football. They're fan friendly. And I'm like, this is the height of the Attitude Era, sir.
Yeah.
What product are you watching?
No, it's definitely the content and some of the dialogue in this are definitely a product of the time. Like, it's almost astonishing with how media is now to like watch it, being what it was.
Dude, this show totally is a time capsule of the 2000s. Like, there is so much just 2000, just, I guess the word would be culture all over the show. Like, this show, even fashion styles, which there's one in particular offender I cannot wait to talk about. We'll get there. This dude, there's one dude that is 2000 out crazy style. Like, Jesus Christ. But we're still on Heat.
But yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say they had the promo package for the triple threat ladder match, which was kind of like the first one of this, at WrestleMania, which I would like to note that there is only one match that's a single competitive match.
Yeah.
But everything else is multi-man.
Yeah.
It's just absolute fucking chaos.
This show, everyone's getting a WrestleMania payday, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. The one thing that I've always kind of laughed at, I don't know if I'm the only person that thinks this, but for those that know Trevor Moore, do you see a resemblance of Trevor Moore with Edge, like a younger Edge?
Dude, okay, so I don't know who Trevor Moore is. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna go find out who Trevor Moore is right now.
Okay,
Trevor Moore. Don't hold on. Before you even describe, let me at least try to make sure I'm looking at the right guy. Comedian, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So there is a
he's
to me
sad.
Yeah, no, it is sad. But I've always felt that like Young Edge and Trevor Moore kind of have like the same like facial features.
This dude bearded for sure.
Yeah.
Like you can see it in the top of his face. His mouth, like the beard puts it over the top. Like the top of his head looks straight up spitting image of Edge.
Yeah.
Like his smile isn't the same, but the beard puts it over the top, and it's like, oh, that's Edge.
But
yeah, that's Edge. That totally is Edge. What did this guy do? Oh, the Whitest Kids You Know. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's good stuff. I like that show. I just wasn't familiar with the name.
Yeah, no, he was definitely a really funny comedian. Dude had crazy ideas, but go back to the wrestling. But yeah, so like the triple threat ladder match is like the first one of its kind, and this kind of goes back to what was it? I think it was No Way Out 5 months prior.
No Mercy.
No Mercy, excuse me. Thank you for correcting me.
Dude, screw them for having multiple shows with a no at the beginning. Like the reason why I bring this up is a year later when Shane Helms comes into fucking WWF from WCW, they change his name because they don't want their fans getting confused with Shane McMahon.
Yeah, like I've heard stories about that.
But we're gonna sit here with these two no shows and confuse our hypocritical bullshit. Anyways, yeah, No Mercy.
So it goes back, and they had the first tag team ladder match. It was between the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, and then it evolves into what's going on here at this triple threat ladder match with the Dudley Boys included now. And well, as we get into it, like I just kind of going into the match itself, I feel like this match was the precursor. You could see the build up to where they get to with their later TLC matches and stuff.
I even wrote that down in my notes coming up in that match. Like you literally see them tinkering with spots here in this match that become famous spots within the next year.
Yeah. So it was really cool to kind of see that and revisit it. And then so after the promotion for the triple threat ladder match, they had the promotion for the hardcore battle royal. Another first.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
So what was it? It was like a 13-man tag match, which was really interesting too, because it was a bunch of tag teams and like stables. It was the Acolytes went with JBL and Farouk, Mean Street Posse.
This was the WWF lower card or tag teams who weren't in the tag team title match thrown into a match.
Yeah. Getting that payday.
I have the whole list written down, and we'll get to it when we get to the match. But the promo here cracks me up because, like, they've been teasing that they're suspending the 24/7 rule right now. Like, Crash doesn't have to do it right now because they're going into this hardcore battle royal. Lawler's interviewing Crash Holly, and Lawler introduces the referee for the later night, Jimmy Corderas, and then fucking Crash goes, "Not you too, King," and runs away.
Picks up a scale and fucking dips.
Yeah! I thought the 24/7 title rule was on hold. Why is he running?
After it sucks because he was just getting some good sleep and able to eat without having to look over his shoulder.
For real, I was like, why? I'm so confused here. It cracked me up though. Like the concept was hilarious, but I was like, I thought this rule was suspended right now. I'm lost, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. It's still funny.
Yeah.
Dude, I have noted here right after this, we're getting into the hype for the European Intercontinental Triple Threat matches, and Michael Hayes says something that sends my current wrestling mind crazy. Michael Hayes says, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, 3 young lions in their first WrestleMania. And I hear the term young lion there. I totally see all 3 of those dudes coming out like New Japan New Lions. Just shitty black generic trunks, black generic knee pads. They're giving each other Boston crabs for the end. I'm like, yeah, we're doing that young lion New Japan work there, Michael Hayes.
Oh my god! And I've noticed that they have quoted that numerous times, like throughout this match.
They definitely make sure to mention that there's a lot of guys in their first WrestleMania here, like the young movement's in effect.
Yeah, the young pups.
Yeah, the young movement is in effect. We definitely mention first WrestleManias or age of people who are young in multiple WrestleManias. For sure. Because Rock's age gets dropped crazy amount of times in the main event.
Yeah, it does. Same thing with Mick Foley. Yep. But the one thing that makes me laugh during this promo with Chris Jericho, who's like insanely fucking over at this time, like this is
over crazy.
Yeah, it's still the height of the Ayatollah of rock and roller, and the shit that makes me laugh is when he's like cutting a promo on Kurt. He calls him Kirk Angle.
Kirk Angle.
Or Kirk Angel, excuse me. And then he's like, yeah, but
there's some kid who has a Kirk Angel sign that's right center on camera. I'm like, yeah.
Shit's funny. And then he's like, you got all the gold, but you got a cat in case of bad breath and BO.
Yeah. Dude, anything he said at that time, people were eating up. Like,
oh, fucking for sure.
People were eating up. Promo package for the European Intercontinental title. And then Kurt Angle is here. He's out in the audience. He's out in the crowd, out in the entrance. He's got a microphone. He's proud to represent everyone as the Intercontinental champion, but it's a conspiracy that he's having to put both his titles on line. And Bob Backlund shows up to let him know that there's no conspiracy. Backlund wants Kurt Angle to be at the level of a WWF champion. Young man, tough love, bad to the bone. I want you to be the best. I put you in this match. Angle gets pissed and puts Backlund in the chicken wing.
Dude. And what's funny about that promo that Backlund's like cutting while he's talking to Angle, he sees like it sounds like he's kind of stumbling, like getting through it. But like once he starts hitting his stride, like he just kind of like starts taking off and starts yelling at him, like he just goes into it, and it's like, oh shit. But yeah, that was pretty crazy to see Bob Backlund get chicken winged.
I mean, I like that they gave a story reason for this happening.
Yeah.
And they gave a reason for Angle to snap. And so, like, that at least gave more motivation to Angle and his character. So I like that at least.
And the one thing that I noticed, too, is that he's very good at getting boos and, like, use suck chants while he's cutting, like, a babyface-esque promo. It's like it's like insanely talented.
I don't know what I feel like they wanted to make him babyface at first, and he's coming in cutting these promos like, I'm an Olympic gold medalist, I'm great. Who the fuck's gonna cheer for you when you say all these things?
Yeah. Just oh man. But yeah, as there was, I'm trying to think of another thing, because there was like another commercial after this time. Like I have a note here, but it was like something about the web. There was like some website or something like that. And
I got it written down here. We get ctvsportsnet.com. It's like a Canadian ESPN site. We get a VW Passat ad. Some dude parks his car away super far, like it's valuable. We get the Iams dog food commercial. Oh, we get a commercial for some movie called Black and White with like half the Wu-Tang Clan in it.
I fast forwarded through all the commercials, so I missed that.
Oh, I definitely watched these because they were a time warp. Like, let's see here. On this, that's the last one that we really have. There's one I want to go back to from a previous commercial. They do a Canadian version of the "Don't Try This at Home" WWF ad, but it's like a co-op between like the station itself and WWF. So you get clips of like WWF action, and then you get like stock footage of a playground.
Oh my god!
Don't try this at home.
Don't try it. No, I think I remember that one because it was like like they're professionals that do it here. That doesn't mean like you do it here, and then it's like cuts to a playground.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And that's really all we have here. Subway keeps promoting its new bread. You get that commercial like 6 times throughout this hour.
Yeah.
Slam of the week brought to you by Snickers, who is your WrestleMania promotion or your WrestleMania sponsor. Road Dogg and X-Pac throw Kane over the top rope, and Kane goes through the table. This is Monday Night on Raw. This literally looked like DX just whipped Kane into the ropes, and Kane did a house show dive over the top to the table. I was like, man, light week if this is the slam of the week.
Yeah.
Well, it was WrestleMania week. We got to save our bodies for Sunday, brother.
That's right. Got to keep them proud.
Pete Rose is here. He's
the infamous feud between Kane and Pete Rose.
2 years going now. Jerry Lawler asks him if he's just here to see WrestleMania. No Kane stuff. And Pete Rose has a bat, so...
Yeah, King's like, oh, what you he's like, yeah, well, I'm moving on from Kane. He's like, oh, what you got right there? And he like pulls a bat out of camera or out of the camera frame. Says he's gonna sign it's for Lawler and he's gonna sign it and make it real special. He's like, oh, well, thank you. He's like, oh no, you gotta wait until after the show.
Yeah, you gotta wait until after the show. I gotta sign it later, bro. I haven't signed it yet. I'll give it to you later. Just don't worry about it. We get a cat fight hype video for Cat and Terry, special referee. There's a lot of GTV clips to build this. The only thing I noted here, I +10 a lot of this, but the only thing I did note is that Val says if he sees May naked or a vein on her chest, he'll need Viagra for the rest of his life.
Yeah, as he's like pushing her out and like she's like trying to come on to him.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that like they were trying to like persuade him and stuff, and then there's a line that Terry's like, oh, I'm a winner, and then he's like, you know, foreplay or fair play is my middle name. And like it's almost comical because you know, again, indicative of the time, just like hyper sexualized like innuendos and
dude, for real.
Insane.
Like I saw a quote that stuck with me about how humans view genders as objects, and at least in American culture, men are success objects while women are sexual objects. And I was like, fuck me, man, that hurts.
That's pretty potent for minimal words.
That I was like, damn, that's deep and hurts, man. Back to wrestling, though. We get more mindless consumption about asking who's going to win the 4-way elimination. Dude, okay, so I'm going to bring this up now before we get into the main event. Fuck all of the WWF fans. No one gave a shit about Mick Foley here.
No.
Rock was our guy. Get the fuck out.
Triple H got a couple people, but it was just like nobody... Nobody said Big Show. Nobody said Mick Foley.
I mean, I get why no one said Big Show, but they're literally advertising as Foley's going bye-bye. You think someone would be like, yeah, Foley would... Nope. Fuck Foley. Rock, Dwayne.
He's my dude. Yeah, because like this was... Because they had the whole stipulation where Mick Foley had to leave, so this was, you know, Linda brought him back as a special chance to right what was wrong.
Yeah, Lyndon brought him back because he got screwed over in his last 2 title shots, and the last one he lost his career, so Linda gave him the last opportunity. But the fans couldn't give a shit about his last opportunity. It's Rock's time, brother.
Care. That's right.
Get out of here. Go to ECW. But yeah, of course he doesn't. But like, that's like the sentiment I get here. Is like, go away.
Yeah.
Taking a body in this match.
But yeah, so we getting into the main show.
I got one thing before we end Heat, and I really don't understand why this didn't bleed into the main show. Hardy Boys come out and they start to talk some smack about their title match tonight. Matt says like Foley dreams of winning the WWF title at Mania. The Hardys dream of becoming tag champions at Mania. Fear's only a four-letter word, but Edge and Christian come out of the crowd and show up in the ring and start talking smack. There's a ladder in the ring all of a sudden, and Edge and Christian, Hardy's rush the ring, and they attack Edge and Christian. JR's on the Hardys now. Over to WrestleMania as we speak, if you haven't done so. The Hardys, Edge Christian, done this tonight. Now, I don't understand why this just didn't open the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They're already out there. Dudley's could have came out. They're brawling. They're brawling. Buy the pay-per-view. Oh, my God. Fade to black. WrestleMania turns on. You can push back the intro later. Oh, my God, we're here. The Dudley's, Edge and Christian. Hardy's are going. The match is on. Like, what a crazy different way to start.
Yeah, that would have been an instant fucking hook.
Yeah.
Left them wanting more and seeing what happened to it.
If you want to see these guys die, buy the pay-per-view right now, you son of a bitch. Like, seriously, like, I would have been like, here's my $49.
Take it.
I want to see these guys play fucking pinball with their bodies.
Yeah. Oh, they fucking certainly do in this match. Oh my God.
Like, that was one of the there's a couple other egregious things on this show, but this one was very egregious. I'm like, you literally set up the hook and just let it go.
Yeah. But yeah, so to open up the show.
That brings us to the main show.
Yeah, the main show, the big one, WrestleMania 16. But we got Lillian Garcia.
Whoa, wait, what, 16?
I think it was 16.
Where'd you, no, it truly is, but I was going to make fun of the marketing. Where'd you get 16? This is WrestleMania 2000, brother.
That's we've had 1999 before this one.
Damn right. 2000. Technically WrestleMania 16. All the branding's WrestleMania 2000. That's another time capsule branding. Everything being 2000 in the year.
Yeah.
Like, video games and cars definitely do this, but like, it was out of hand at this era. Everything was 2000.
It was.
Whatever the product was with 2000 at the end.
Get the Hoover Vacuum 2000.
Oh, dude, for real. Get your Hoover Vacuum 2000 Y2K proof. It'll be fine. So pay-per-view starts, and we immediately get our first discrepancy between the Netflix Peacock broadcast and the original broadcast. As we do not, on the Netflix Peacock broadcast, get Ice-T's performance while performing Godfather's music while Godfather and D'Lo Brown come out. Oh. Man. This is sign of the 2000s.
It does, for sure. Oh. No, it's insane to think that there was like a whole pimp gimmick. Like I knew of the Godfather, but at the time, like the context wasn't like clicking. Same thing that Val Venus wasn't like a porn star, porn star angle. So it was just like things that kind of like scraped my understanding. But like as an adult watching it, it makes it honestly more humorous.
Dude, like, yeah, like you're like, God, how did I not see this bullshit? Fucking Ice-T leaning into the whole Godfather thing. Grab your bitches. Ouch, going nuts. The hosts are like, ah! Oh my God.
Fucking the hook. The pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Easy, yeah,
oh
dude,
my
crowd's
God.
Going nuts. And then the fucking Shield show up. Like literally, like Boss Man and Bill Buchanan come out and they are dressed just like the Shield. I was like, oh my God, it's the Shield.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was I'm trying to remember. I don't remember Bull Buchanan being around for too long. I think his time was relatively short.
So what's interesting about this match is two opponents end up as a tag team in another stable shortly in this year. Godfather turns into the Good Father. Bull Buchanan gets recruited, and they're both in the right to censor with Stevie Richards, Val Venus, and Ivory.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So they go from these like, well, at least Godfather goes from this like crazy over-sexualized, overly crime-ridden character to like goody two shoes. I'm gonna censor. You shouldn't see this, which is a cool little turn for him for sure. Getting into the match though, D'Lo and Godfather start out hot. They isolate Bull for a little while. Godfather either telegraphs he's missing an elbow or Bull moves way too early, and that elbow just like it's like, well, you're missing. Bull tags in Boss Man. JR trying his best to get people involved in this match. A veteran of many WrestleManias, Big Boss Man has a sparkling record. And you think about it like, Big Boss Man, sparkling record. What the fuck? He's a jock. No, dude's 4-1 at Mania. His only loss is to the Taker the year before.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude's got a good record going into the show. I was like, oh, JR doing his due diligence. All right.
It's apparently shit.
Bull eventually gets advantage, gets whipped to the corner, leaps all the way to the top rope, jumps, turns midair, and clotheslines D'Lo. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, and when that happened, that kind of made me think of like the whole entire big man like acrobatic thing that we talked about in the last episode. Like Bull Buchanan definitely kind of showcased that, and but there's another spot that he does like later.
Yeah, his spot coming up later is even more impressive than that. King's comment about this clothesline was hilarious. The hoes are in shock. Godfather's kept at bay. Shield keeps isolating D'Lo, and then we get the fucking bear hug in the opener. Crowd couldn't give a shit anymore.
No.
Crowd's dead till Godfather goes for the hoe train.
Yeah, that was like the only time when there was like any sort of response from the crowd.
Other than that, or like the hoes cheering, crowd couldn't care. D'Lo tags in, Bull traps him. Buchanan beats the Godfather outside. Shield takes over, sidewalks into Boss Man, and then this is what we're talking about. Buchanan gets stupid crazy height on a top rope leg drop and fucking pins D'Lo for the win. Oh my god.
Huge.
Dude,
like,
he's what, 6'6", 300 pounds.
He's big as shit.
And he just goes flying. Hulk Hogan, eat your heart out on this leg drop. Oh my god.
For real.
And then for some reason the Shield chased off the hose. I didn't understand why.
Lawler's like, I'll come back here, I'll protect you.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing? The hose.
Fucking Lawler squeals like all throughout this whole like same thing with the next match
we'll
too.
Talk about him even more later. Jesus Christ. He's
offensive
on this show. I have written here about this match. The baby faces who got the musical wrapping him out, losing the opener of the biggest show of the year. I'm confused.
Fucking, they're like, yeah, we'll have him go out in style.
Hey, whatever, man. I mean, there's cool spots. Crowd couldn't give a shit though. Crowd.
No, they were more with like him saying that he's like pimping hoes nationwide and shit, like with his whole opener and lighting up a blunt and all that shit. Like outside of that, no one cared.
That's something that I think is actually indicative of the Attitude Era. The catchphrases and the entrances were way more important than the actual wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, we just saw to be fair, this was a decent wrestling match.
No, it was.
Like, booking wise, it didn't make sense in regards to the place of the card. But like, the crowd couldn't give a fuck. And what did the crowd pop for? The hoe train. Like, yeah. Like, it's just a sign of the times that like the wrestling wasn't as important as the gimmick, or I mean, you can even make that argument in general, but like significantly here, the ballyhoo was more important than the wrestling.
Yeah, no, the character work was definitely what got people over, because kind of the same thing with like Road Dogg kind of has a similar thing that we'll get into whenever their match comes up. But it's like they didn't. And I know I've mentioned this before, like you don't need to do much to get over with the crowd, like as long as you know, not that I've have personal experience, but it's just my observation, I guess. But it's like character work triumphs in-ring work in a sense, like, but if you can do both well, like. So
to give you an example today at training, moves matter, but it's what you do in between the moves that matter. But also, if you've spent an entire match working a leg and then hit a Death Valley driver down their head, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So It has to, if you're gonna do these moves, these flashy things, they have to make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like that was one of the things that Arn Anderson and Ole Anderson were really good at. They would, pick a body part and go for it.
Which, to shit on this last match, Bill Buchanan doing those spots made no sense other than the pop the crowd. Yeah. Like, I get it, they're in the opener, but like, why are you what? Top rope leg drop in a regular match?
Fucking God.
Right, so then we get backstage, husband and wife, WWF champion Triple H and WWF Women's champion Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Both of them have their belts, and I got noted here, they look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Like, Triple H is holding his title, Ric Flair style, looking towards it. Stephanie's looking down her waist, stroking her title. Both of them smiling, grinning like ear to ear, like, we're on top of the world. I'm like, God, Gold Hoarder's here.
Yeah, for real. And she's like, what made me laugh was there was a shot of her like polishing it with her wrist, and I'm like, bitch, you're fucking gonna be that's what? What are you doing?
Dude, yeah.
You're gonna smear it. Fucking counterproductive.
JR says, why does Triple H look so calm considering everything's on the line in our main event title match? King says, Triple H always has a plan, and so
he's a cerebral assassin.
Commentary's already sowing doubts in the main event. We're one segment in. This is my highlight of the night. This is my absolute highlight of the night. This segment right here. For two reasons. One, I'm pissed. Because as soon as this segment starts, it says heat earlier tonight. Bullshit. At least on the Canadian broadcast, we did not get this segment.
That wasn't on there.
I was this Justice for an International broadcast. This was nowhere. So this is basically the WWF Hardcore division's version of the Last Supper. Like, oh my God. The camera has a shot of the tables with wrestlers on each side. Left side, we see an entire Mean Street Posse. Regular clothed headbanger, Mosh or Thrasher. I'm not sure which one. Taka Michinoku, who this is our most 2000s guy I've ever seen on the you'll see on this show. His hairstyle, crazy. Bangs dyed blonde, comb forward down his forehead, short black hair everywhere else. Dude looks like he's ready to go to WCW and join 3 Count. Like, he's ready for a boy band. And this is on this side. The other side, we get Taz, regular clothed Mosher Thrasher again, the APA, Sho Funaki, and Hardcore Holly. At the head of the table, there's 3 people. There's referee Jimmy Cordelis, there's referee Tim White, who's explaining the rules, and then on the right side, with the shit-eating grin, is fucking WWF Hardcore champion Crash Holly. Like,
fucking
he
smart,
literally
dude.
is Jesus sitting in the middle of the Last Supper, smirking, standing on his stupid-ass scale, like, ready to defend his title.
Dude, that fucking Crash Holly's smirk, like, always makes me laugh. Like, it's just perfect underdog smirk.
Dude, what? This gets even crazier. Tim White has the thickest New York accent on in regards to explaining the rules of this hardcore battle royal. He says the title may change a bunch of times. Crash taps on his shoulder, whispers into his ear, "Hey, it might not change at all, brother. I might win this little 15." Dude, literally, my highlight of the night, just because of how absurd this was. Like, Crash is WWF Hardcore Division's Jesus, and this was his Last Supper. Like,
yeah, they were calling him the Hardcore Houdini.
Dude, that segment was nuts.
Yeah. This whole fucking match is...
The whole match is nuts, but that segment specifically just, like, made me smile and lose my shit laughing, because all I could see is Crash Holly like this. Just center of the Last Supper painting, everyone around him. Crash Holly is my Jesus.
My Lord and Savior.
My Lord and Savior. All right, so that brings us to said matchup, which is the WWF Hardcore Championship match. First ever Hardcore Battle Royale. This is basically like what those championship scramble matches would become a few years later. You'd have like multiple guys in, and whoever is in possession of the belt when the time ends is the champion. So this
15-minute time limit, I think they had for this one.
This has a 15-minute time limit, so 13 people in there, almost a minute per person, a little over a minute per person in regards to this. This match, within 30 seconds, so many people would have got fired if they did this. So match starts, everyone bails out, Taz and Crash are on the inside. Taz hits a captured leg and arm Taz flex to Crash. Camera misses it, but it looks crazy because he's got Crash's leg up on his shoulder into the suplex. Camera misses it. Camera cuts back. 1, 2, 3. Taz is pinned Crash. Taz pins Crash. Crash rolls to the outside. Taz goes to the outside. He starts to fight with Viscera, and Viscera takes over. You can see on camera Crash walk past Viscera and Taz to go brawl with somebody.
Yeah, there's a few spots where I was just like, what the fuck? There's another one. There's another thing that happens later in this match that made me laugh and kind of realized that. But the one thing that I realized, and I actually marked down, because I watched it twice, but I was, how many fucking headshots there are in this match.
Viscera and Bradshaw were showing why every 11 to 70-year-old boy were breaking their mother's cookie sheets every weekend. Yep. Jesus Christ.
Dude, there is like, hold on, let me count up my head.
Oh, you got count? I just have CTE written down.
Oh no, I like, so what I did this off of was every verifiable headshot. Like, you can hear these fucking shots going off, like they're the little snappers that you throw down on the ground for 4th of July, but like, these are how many are seen on camera.
Okay, so we're verifying by seen, not just heard. It has to be seen.
Yeah, because there's a lot of back shots too. But
there's a ton.
43 headshots altogether.
Oh, yeah, dude. Pete Gas bleeds crazy. He's
dude, fucking.
He's gushing.
There's a comment I'm gonna make later because there's something that JR says during the main event that like made me laugh, because I was like, okay, but it touches back on Pete Gas because dude, he gets fucking.
We'll circle back there in the in the
we'll put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in it. We'll definitely come back to that. King noticed somebody hitting somebody with an umbrella. He said, "What's he doing with an umbrella? It never rains in California."
And then he realized, he's like, "Oh, it's not an umbrella, it's a flag."
It's a flag, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, there's this one comment that JR makes that really made me laugh. He's like, "This carnage is a Saturday night on payday weekend in Muskogee. Like, this is just like every bi-weekly happening."
This is what we did back in Tulsa every weekend after the Oklahoma game, bitch.
But yeah, there was another comment that King makes about Viscera. He's like, Viscera is hovering around like a planet, and then JR says he'd be Uranus. It's like fucking JR just throwing jabs. Shit had me fucking laughing so hard.
Dude, this gets. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, there was a couple spots that I really enjoyed. The part where Farouk breaks the 2x4 over Viscera, and then Bradshaw gets him with the clothesline. And because like they really build up Viscera like pretty strong in like the 7 minutes that he's like the champion.
Yeah. He's like he goes on like the Diesel 1994 WWF Royal Rumble run where like no one's touching him. Like, he's just dominating for a little bit. He literally is. I'm walking out with this title. Big and bad.
Yeah, I was fucking really surprised to see that. But then after JBL lands that clothesline from the top rope onto Viscera, they throw fucking Kai and Tai and Taka onto him, and then Mosh comes in and like pins him.
Dude, I love that. I love the Kai and Tai pin. The ref gave Funaki the win. Taka gets pissed off and just punches Funaki.
Starts punching him, dude. Like, and what's funny is that there is kind of like some coherency of like a narrative, like a narration going on during like this chaos.
There is a little bit, yes.
But it's not much. It's very thin, but it's enjoyable.
This is where they start to fucking reenact the 24/7 brawls, and everyone's just walking and brawling now.
Yeah, they go to the back, or they start heading to the back.
Yep.
And then what was it? It was Rodney. Rodney throws Funaki into the guardrails, and then he pins him. Gets the 3 count, and then fucking Joey Abs comes over and clotheslines.
Rodney.
And then pins him. He becomes champion, and then what was it? It was like, I think it was Thrasher that came up and pretty much just like slammed him into the rolling doors that they have in the like the bays that you bring in the trucks.
Yep.
Oh my God! Like so much happens like in this like short period of time.
Dude, yeah.
But yeah, then Pete Gas gets a little bit of fucking color on him, and then they come back afterwards as Thrasher as champion, and then Taz suplexes, I think it was Mosh or Thrasher at this time, and then what's funny was that Bob Holly, as Taz is pinning him, just comes over.
I have this written down too.
Just like stomps him and then gets back going, and it's like, wait, he's going for the pin for the champion. Like, what are you doing?
Taz no sells the kick too.
Yeah, couldn't give a shit less. Oh my God, dude, that shit is so fucking funny. Oh,
Taz, they start to work over Taz. Taz keeps kicking out a pinfall attempts. Crash takes another crazy Taz flex from Taz, head and arm Taz flex. Taz has this problem with all of his moves where his name has to be in front of all of his moves. Oh, hit him with the Taz punch. The Taz flex. Taz Hurricane-Rana. Oh my God.
It's branding, baby.
I know, I get it, but Taz is definitely one of those guys who has that issue.
No, he does.
Crash comes back with the cookie sheet. We still have more CTE. Taz gets the Taz mission, 10 seconds left. Oh, everything breaks down here. Hardcore Holly comes in, blasts both Crash Holly and Taz with some glass object. Hardcore goes to pin Crash. 1, 2, no 3 count. Match is over because we're out of time. Howard Finkel delays his announcement. Crash is walking away with the Hardcore title. Ladies and gentlemen, and your new WWF Hardcore Champion, Hardcore Holly. Like, oh, everything's fucked.
Yeah, because they were saying that Crash got his shoulder up, and you can even see while they're counting that there is no 3 count on the mat.
Yeah, there's no 3 count. It's all fucked.
But what's funny though is if you actually look at Crash's shoulders, he never pulled up.
The whole thing was. Well, there was supposed to be a timeout. Like they were supposed to run out of time before the 3 was the idea.
Oh, okay.
But they were a second or 2 early. So, oh fuck.
And they're like, all right, well, we're just gonna go fucking Bob
Hollywood. Yeah. They fixed that the very next night, but there's an interview. Oh my God, I'll bring this up now. The original broadcast had a post game, and Hardcore Holly has an interview on that post game talking about this, and we'll get into that when we get there.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't watch that. I didn't like.
I only the post game was just all highlights and interviews, so I fast forward through the highlights and just watched the interview part. So that was it.
Okay.
So all I have notes on the post game was just the interviews they conducted.
Okay. But yeah, what was it? Fucking smashed JR's candy jar.
Yeah, it's candy jar.
Stole a man's candy jar. That's vile. But yeah, that was fucking absolutely.
War hedge.
Yeah, absolutely crazy fucking match. Like Jesus, like and what's weird is that this is during the time where ECW's like hardcore styles like very popular. So like WWF at the time is like trying to showcase some of that style.
WCW was doing it too. They had their own hardcore division as well.
Yeah, they were doing because we on one of the previous episodes we did Uncensored, and that one was a lot of hardcore style. My favorite match from that one was the Harlem Heat and the Nasty Boys, and they had like the fucking food fight and stuff off the side.
Oh, where they brawl? Yeah, that's just one's fun.
But yeah, this one was definitely up there with like my favorite kind of just absolute chaotic matches.
This match was just chaos. This was nuts. It was fun. I was entertained, but it was nuts.
Yeah, trying to like keep track of everything that's going on was a little
almost not possible. We get the WWF Access highlights again. Liam was there.
Yeah,
they didn't interview Liam. That's bullshit. Big Show's still so excited he's gonna pee his pants.
Gotta pee my little panties.
Pee my little panties. We go backstage and Al Snow is in front of a stall and someone's in the stall.
Okay, I just want to say that this whole scene with Al Snow and Steve Blackman is like my favorite part of the whole night.
Okay.
Well, I'd say one of my favorite parts of the night.
I like that both of our favorite parts are segments, not matches. It definitely illustrates the era that we're watching.
It's like the wrestling was fun, but
but like
give me the comedy shit.
Yeah. Al Snow is talking to someone or something. Steve Blackman tells him not to be doing anything stupid. This is in front of a stall, and that someone or something flushes the toilet. Steve tells Al to knock it off. Al tells whatever it is to light a match. Oh my god, what are we about to get? Trish rocks on camera, and King can't help but be
yeah, the Lawler squeal.
Dude, just like she's like on set. She's on camera for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, just immediately cuts to her chest. And then the one thing that made me laugh about this is like as they're walking and she's like, "Oh, come on, boys." All I hear is their feet making like the squishing noises as they're like walking across the floor. Like it's like it's like a weird fucking moment. It's like I don't know.
That brings us next to that was weird, dude. The whole thing, King nutting over the puppies being on the camera, the squishy shoes. What? TNA.
Yeah.
Not the company, the team.
Yeah, the team, Test and Albert, which honestly, that's like clever. Like,
I do like it. I do like it. It's not like it clearly is a play on it, but it wasn't like they made that name with them. These two already had their names before they were all TNA.
Yeah.
It was like they changed their names to make this acronym. There's like, well, it's there. All right.
We'll just play off of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. So that brings us to our next match. TNA, Test and Albert with Trish Stratus against Al Snow and Steve Blackman. Al Snow and Steve Blackman out here first. They're unofficially called Head Cheese, which I don't remember. I do not remember this at all. And I was kind of sad that there wasn't much hype about the Head Cheese lore. Because I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah. It's the funny thing that I love about this team is the dynamic between Steve Blackman, who's just like straight cut, no nonsense, and then you got goofy ass Al Snow that comes out with like the mannequin head and shit like that. And then when he's on the mic, he's like, oh, where is it? He's like, you remember last week when we talked about the pick me playing Let's Go Head Cheese with their ass cheeks? Well, let me introduce you to Chester McCheesyton. And the most like cartoonish, like carousel-esque music starts playing, and then like it's a dude, a little person in a fucking cheese costume running down the entranceway.
He's like a life-size Packers cheesehead.
Yeah. Dude, the music is what made it for me.
Dude, the music was great.
And then, basically Al Snow just starts chanting "Let's go Head Cheese" as the guy in the cheese costume's bending over, smacking his ass. Fucking, oh my god, that part had me cracking up. And also, I noticed on this one that they had some microphone issues with
I wrote this too.
And like one of the parts that's making me laugh was that King's not even paying attention to the match. Yeah. It's just more like cat calling at fucking Trish Stratus and then giving shit to JR.
Well, I can do this by myself, JR. Trish, JR has a case of lockjaw. Come sit next to me.
Fucking horn dog Waller.
I'm trying to get my fucking shit to work.
He's like, He's like, "Did you mess it up, King?"
I have noted here there's someone front and center of the hard cam that has a WWF is my religion sign. Like, I saw that and I was like, this is Sunday. And that's their religion. Is their communion a hot dog and a Pepsi?
Honestly, I kind of what do you think about, just to kind of deviate from WrestleMania, what do you think about them holding the events on Sundays as opposed to now Saturdays?
So, as an adult, I love it. I love it, and I wish they'd start earlier. I love those international shows that start at like 11 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're over at 2? Yeah, sweet.
Fucking wake up, have a cup of coffee, and watch some wrestling.
For real. Go to the gym, come home, turn on. Oh my God, this is awesome. As a traditionalist, I did like having the whole weekend being hyped to watch the pay-per-view to end my weekend.
Yeah.
Because this would be, well, this is definitely a reflection of my age and stuff too. Like, this would be talking points Monday morning at school.
Exactly.
Like,
rolled right into it.
We're talking crazy. Did you see what happened? Oh my God. Like,
yeah.
We're basically doing what we're doing on a smaller scale with like 8 people.
Yep.
So like the adult in me loves the Saturday night shows. The traditionalist kid in me is like, I kind of miss being hyped all weekend and then having my weekend end cap on this. And then Monday we're like, oh, wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like my favorite part about it too. Yeah, I have the same sentiment. Like, I enjoy having them on Saturday. You know, I do prefer them when they do the international ones, because it, you know, like you said, just kind of get up, do your thing, and then bam, like get into it and go about your day and have a good time.
Yep.
But yeah, back to the TNA versus Head Cheese.
This match also confuses me like the first tag match. Because I feel like Al Snow and Steve Blackman play the heel here, like in their actions, how they act throughout the match, like, and like
yeah.
it's built to test getting a hot tag, which threw me off. I was like, what is this guy? I mean, it made more sense once we got to the ending at the after match, because before that I was like, this is why I was completely lost. Like, I have written down here, Blackman and Snow, who are the faces, start doing heel shit. Blackman gives Albert a low blow headbutt right in front of Teddy Long.
Yeah.
Like, Tess gets the hot tag, and Blackman and Snow bump and feed for him. And Tess and Albert hit fucking face double team moves like a last ride powerbomb. And Al Snow almost bumped so hard that he almost fell out of his tights. His ass was hanging out of it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think they were trying to like push Test over and like get him, like build him a little bit during this time.
Test was always Vince's like, Vince always had him mildly heated up to hot. He never really like cooled onto him until he let him go. Like,
yeah,
he was always doing something.
Yeah, and that I don't know, which is unfortunate, because like I can understand like why Vince would like him, but you know, like he eventually passed away. I'm not sure how far after he left the WWF.
He had his initial run. He left. He came back in WWE ECW for a while. The 2006 sci-fi project.
Okay.
And then he did some TNA stuff after that, and I think that was really it, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so he went to a couple of other different promotions and
yeah. But yeah, after the back to the match, Chester starts to make a move on Trish on the outside. While this is happening, Albert gorilla press slams Blackman, and Tess hits a top rope elbow to beat Blackman and win the match.
Again.
The face team, their manager's getting stopped. Oh, we're gonna win the match. Fuck it.
Fucking, what was it that I'm trying to think of what King was calling him, Chester the Molester.
Yeah. And this is where everything makes sense, because after the match, Al Snow gets on the mic, says it's a stupid idea, and Al Snow and Steve Blackman just murder Chester.
Poor Chester, dude. Fucking, it's like Steve Blackman gives him like a skipping fucking front kick and kicks him down,
Dude, yeah.
and then it's like Sparta kicks the shit out of him, and then they set him up for a top rope leg drop while he's on Steve Blackman's knee. It's just like poor fucking Chester. But the thing that makes me laugh was when they're bringing him in before they start kicking the shit out of him, is like the way that he slides him in between like the bottom rope and the apron. Just, here you go, my cheesy little friend.
Again.
Dude, so fucking funny. And then
we get King being overly over the top King here. We go backstage, and the cat is basically naked with Mae Young. Mae Young's trying to help her find something to wear, and Mae finds a t-shirt with a kitty cat on it, and the camera has this kitty cat basically right in front of the cat's genitals.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you see that cute little fuzzy thing right there? And then gives the cat a rub. It's like, wow. Holy shit. Oh, and then what was it? Like the phone rings, and then she like covers her breasts as she turns around, like just all cleverly placed. Yeah, the water bottles, like, good Lord. Just here fucking... What we said, what was during the shirt? He's like, move the shirt, move the shirt.
Yeah, move the shirt, move the shirt. And she's all petting the little cat. Jesus Christ. This cuts to the Dudley Boys backstage. They're going to interview, and Devon's pissed because he doesn't like heights or ladders. But they're going to win the tag team titles anyways. Bubba tells everyone the Dudleys are taking the ladder match to a nil of violence, and thou shall not. He says, because this is the World Wrestling Federation, but thou shall not fuck with the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lets out a large scream.
That brings us...
catching himself.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the WWF Tag Team Championship Triangle Ladder Match. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus Dudley Boys, who are your tag team champions.
Yeah.
We get another Shield reference here as Edge and Christian do Shield's intro. Like,
coming from the crowd.
Yeah, like, goddamn, dude. Shield all over 2000s WWF.
Well, I remember, too, with Edge, that like when they were putting him out as a singles competitor, he would be hanging out in the crowd, kind of like Sting-esque. From what I remember. Did this,
like, I remember listening to the Deadlock podcast talking about what the match that ended up being his debut on this Raw, and like leading up to the match, like at the beginning of each segment, he'd be in a different part of the arena, just hanging out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, they really tried to do some like Sting thing with him at first, and like they definitely kept the coming out of the crowd thing until he joined he joined the Brood and the Ministry, and then they went back to doing the crowd thing when they left all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brood did go hard though.
I liked the Brood, dude. That was a good concept. I liked the Ministry too.
Ministry was dope.
Ministry was fun. That was fun. I have here Jeff Hardy slaloms under each ladder, like slalom style. There's like four ladders. Ladders stacked up, and he just goes in between each one, slaloming under them. Like JR and King are losing their minds. Like, he's
bad luck.
He's dead. This Jeff Hardy is not gonna walk tonight when this is over.
Yeah, he's like showing how fearless the Hardys are, and he's like, they aren't superstitious, and I was like, they might be a little stitious.
They might a little bit. There is a badass Dudleyville multi-person sign in the crowd. There's like,
yeah,
they all have Dudley glasses on too. I was like, this is dope.
Fucking, they were huge, dude. Definitely one of the bigger tag teams at that time. But that was cool because at this time, I feel like they really did have a thriving tag team division.
Dude, the tag team scene here is nuts. Because if you think about it, you have these three guys. You then, right under them, you have TNA, you have APA, you have Head Cheese, you have The Shield, or I mean, Bossman. You have Kai and Tai. You have D'Lo Brown and Godfather. Like, their tag team division's deep at this point. And the top of it's just talented as fuck.
No, it's insane. And then they actually had a match later in the evening, but Too Cool was up there.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Too Cool. Too Cool is
Yeah.
definitely another big part of that tag. I mean, you can make the same argument for DX and the New Age Outlaws, even though Badass is injured at this time.
Yeah. But you still had him and X-Pac on there. So
you still had them as a team too. So the tag team division's super deep here. Super deep.
No, it definitely is. And this is one of those precursor to the matches that become iconic. And I personally think that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this match just because I think those other ones overshadow this one. But don't forget where you came from, or at least like what built to that. Show appreciation.
It's definitely lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Because there's some spots that like Jeff busts out a 450 splash here, and he doesn't do that anymore. He didn't do that after within this year. I think he stops doing it, and in 2000, I think he stops doing it. And he 450 splashed himself into a ladder.
And still, even missed it. There's a lot of fucking shots in this that are just god damn, dude. I'm surprised that any of these dudes are walking after some of these bumps. There was the spot where it does the 450, and then Bubba puts a ladder on Jeff and does a swanton on the ladder.
He sentons it, yeah.
Dude. What else? And then at the one spot where Edge is up on top of the ladder and then pushes himself off, and then Matt's underneath that one. These dudes are just
he uses himself like the teeter-totter almost and splashes.
Yeah, and then dude. And then what else? Bubba's wearing the ladder and just starts knocking everybody with it.
Channeling the Terry Funk, doing the Terry Funk spot.
Yeah, the Terry Funk spot.
Let's see here. I have written down Dion did his Twitch selling on a lightest bump.
Yeah, he did.
He's selling for doing this on big bumps, but he just takes an elbow drop laying on a ladder and all of a sudden he's fucking twitching. He normally does that on big bumps. This is the lightest bump. He's like, bleh.
It's fucking might as well give him a Wrestlemania worthy sell.
I love the overhead camera angle.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that camera angle, and every ladder match should have that camera angle involved. Why?
I agree. Lawler even says it's a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner angle, and it is, especially when they're falling down the canyons. God, I'm trying to I have so many fucking notes of spots where I'm just holy shit. All right, let me write this down because this is
literally all this. It's just go through the spots. That's literally all you can do.
Christian climbs to the top of the ladder and then does the crossbody outside the Bubba and Matt. Holy shit chance. There's a lot of VCW fans obviously watching this. Jeff Hardy setting up a ladder in the middle of the ring while Edge is climbing up to the ropes. Edge climbs up to the top turnbuckle and then fucking spears Jeff from the middle of the ladder. And it's that's literally the first
building blocks. There's one of the building blocks. We're gonna change this in next year. Where you're gonna do it off a ladder, and it's gonna be fucking 10 times higher.
Holding on to the belts from the fucking top.
Yeah. Dude, Bubba Ray Dudley. There's a spot where Bubba murders everybody. Bubba powerbombs Matt from the Spanish Days Heel outside. Yeah. Bubba goes look for a ladder. Jeff runs on the rail, and Bubba channels Sabu and throws that ladder at Jeff Hardy as hard as he can, and
yeeted that motherfucker.
Oh my god! Oh, I was like, Jeff owes Bubba money. Good god!
You got my tab for tonight, you fucker.
Yeah,
dude,
that was nuts. Bubba goes and gets the supersized ladder here. He begins to set it up in the alleyway. Christian comes with the ring bell, knocks him out. Jeff throws Christian in the rail, takes his shirt off, which surprisingly wasn't dominated by female cheers. It was a mixed gender cheer here. Everyone was into it. Because normally when Hardy takes off his shirt, it's normally predominantly the ladies. Ah!
Yeah.
I get it. But no, this time it was the dudes and the ladies. Everyone was like, yeah, let's go. Jeff climbs, and we get that shot we've seen a million times. We know him.
The Swanton
himself and Bubba straight to fucking hell.
So, and this is one thing I can't remember if this has been touched on the show previously, but the one thing that I miss about wrestling, or one of the things that I've noticed that's changed, is the amount of flashes going off during big spots.
That is a technology thing, in my opinion.
Well, no, it is. And like, I get, but I always feel like at least like somebody watching or somebody that's there, it made the spot like even more like epic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It added to the gravitas of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, because now you just see people holding their rectangles.
Yeah.
And like WWE's production has this like cameras built into it, so they just take their own stills. They don't need the flash or anything. So
no, but that's just, I don't know. That was like one of the things I was watching. I was like, damn, I kind of miss seeing that.
It definitely adds to the moment, making it feel a little more epic and a little more huge. Matt, Devon, and Christian are now on the ring. Twist of fate for Matt to Devon. Devon falls out. Christian and Matt start to climb up the ladders, which is basically a makeshift scaffold at this point.
Yeah.
There's 2 ladders, and the Dudleys put a table on top of the ladder, which you could basically stand on.
And don't they set up like another table like underneath like the little
there's tables on the outside as well. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's like little tables on the outside as well in the ring. So like there's the structure, and then over to, say if I was facing the structure climbing up over to one side is a table sitting the opposite, like instead of horizontal, the table would be vertically laying. The best way I can describe it.
It's perpendicular.
There we go. Thank you, perpendicular. Matt's touching the belts. He has his finger on the belts. Edge sneaks up and dumps him into that, dumps him off, and Matt crashes through the table. Edge and Christian grab the belts, and the Shield is 2 for 2. Shield rules 2000 wrestling, baby.
Yeah, this match was fucking crazy.
This match was crazy. It was an awesome brawl, breathtaking spots, building blocks of what they're going to do over the next 2 years. Awesome stuff. Dudes were cooking, quote unquote, with kids. They were ahead of their time here. As they were innovating. This is so many people reference that TLC match, the 2 TLC matches that are about to come up, and this was, like we said, the groundwork for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But then after that, they go into a backstage segment with Kevin Kelly with Linda McMahon and Mick Foley, and the whole ordeal going on with Mick Foley of him being let go after losing his match to Triple H. I think it was at Hell in the Cell. And then Linda brings him back. So he's, it's a childhood dream for him to be at WrestleMania in the main event. So, Linda's pulling for him. And I got to say, Linda definitely is like the most uncharismatic of the 3 of the McMahon family.
Because on my notes I have, Linda says, I'm very happy you're going to have the opportunity to fulfill your lifelong dream here at WrestleMania. Main event, go for it. Do you know who Ben Stein is?
Yeah, those dry red eyes.
Yeah. Dry red eyes, opportunity to fulfill a lifelong dream. Jeez, no emotion from her at all.
Need a little bit of water for how dry that was. Shit.
Oh, for real, God, dude. Like, woof.
And there's another spot that makes me laugh that's Linda McMahon related. Like, but I get that she wasn't the most active in it, but it's like, God damn, at least like the little bit that you're there, like just give a little bit more, Linda, please.
Yeah, I know you're busy in 2025 being, I think, the Secretary of Education. I don't remember what you're doing, but
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I get it though for the storyline wise. Like this is the height of the building of the McMahon dysfunction, and Stephanie's married to Triple H at this time because they were trying to marry Stephanie and Test, which was the whole thing going on too until Triple H. I don't think they directly said it, but they that he like roofied her, or they insinuated that.
They eventually retconned it. It was a work. Stephanie was in on it the whole time.
Okay.
To get at Vince.
Well,
that's what led to the Triple H Vince match, and then Stephanie turns on Vince at 99 Armageddon. Okay, and that's when they revealed she was in on it the whole time.
Okay, that's right.
Because earlier in 99, Vince used Stephanie in a plot with The Undertaker where The Undertaker kidnapped Stephanie to try to, like, he's basically trying to fuck with Austin, but used his own kid in the plot.
Yeah.
And she's pissed about that. And that's why she turns and does this thing with Triple H.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
It comes off creepy at first because you're like, oh, he just roofied her. And you're like, why is she willingly, like, she's like not truly okay with it, but seemingly okay with it. And then the turn happens, you're like, oh, yeah, fuck you, Vince. Boom! Like, she's totally justified. She's 100% justified in her turn, and Vince was a piece of shit.
Oh, man.
So Foley says his fairy tale dreams are going to come true. Linda's given the opportunity, and that brings us to Lawler's main event of the night.
Yeah, I always feel like Lawler checked out after this one.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny you mentioned that because in the next match, the very first note I have is JR and King are unhinged on commentary at this point.
Yeah. The one thing that made me laugh was when they were coming in. What was it? They were coming in and JR calls. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's on another match. Wow, I'm fucking up here. So Val comes out. The shirt that Val comes out with, I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
The semen shirt?
Cocked, locked, and ready to unload in jizz font.
Yeah.
Like
referee towel.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, jizz font. Like AJ Styles had a jizz font shirt in TNA as well, but it wasn't like wasn't like making penis references like this, but it totally looked like someone just jizzed AJ on the shirt.
God.
Terrible. Yeah, comes out, semen shirt, referee towel, says normal towel. Front row sign. This has to be a plant, considering what happens later on in this match. Or they've been teasing this forever. I don't remember. I didn't watch any like shows going into this, but front row hard cam sign. May, please don't show your puppies. Just straight up dead center.
She wants the world to see them things.
Yeah, right. Val gets a mic, and Val's all like, only difference between WrestleMania and Val Venus. WrestleMania only comes once a year. I come every night. Ha 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 ha.
Fucking huge pop from the female crowd.
Yeah, the crowd. Orgasms.
Oh my God.
Cat comes out. Camera cuts to the crowd. King gets pissed.
What's funny too? So I found the note where I had it with JR was that he was saying that this match wasn't for wrestling purists and isn't about stars, and I feel like that was like knocking at Meltzer in like some way.
Oh, shoot, yeah, absolutely. You take your dirt sheet, you shove it up your fucking ass, you son of a bitch.
You shove it right up there.
Kat puts her ass directly in the camera while getting in the ring.
Yeah,
dude,
I hear the
like you see
Lawler squeal.
Lawler. Terry spears Kat to start. Val pulls her off for what I have no clue why Val pulled her off. Everything seemed fine.
Yeah,
he's cradling her in her arms, and they start making out. They stop. Kat decides she could do anything better than Terry, and fucking starts to make out with Val.
Yeah, having a fucking smooch fest.
Are we about to just watch people have sex? Terry tosses Kat by her hair.
Jesus Christ.
Kat hits Terry, or Kat hits Terry with the spear. May comes up on the apron and starts to try to show her puppies. Kat knocks Terry out of the ring. Val never sees it. Terry ends up taking back Moolah over. Moolah and May get in the ring, and this is nuts. Moolah and May get in the ring. Moolah immediately politely listens to Val and just exits the ring.
Okay. You know what? You're right. I'll leave.
Referee, goodbye. May goes to hit Terry, but gets cut out by Val. May starts making out with Val now. Cat throws Terry out of the ring again. Val's still making out with Moolah, but Val's still making out. Moolah throws Cat back in the ring. Terry goes back in. Val taps out for making out with May and sees Terry in the ring, sees Cat outside, and rings the bell. Boo!
That I would like to notate that JR calls it. There was a spot where JR calls it the oldest Bronco Buster in captivity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we get there. May gives after match. May gives Moolah the Bronco Buster, and Cat tears Terry's pants to show her ass.
That's right. Yeah. Like, my God, what I don't even know if "what a time" is the right word for this. Just because it's like this shit just aged so badly.
This was bad. This was really bad. I'm sure 12-year-olds back then were like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, no, I
12-year-old, maybe some 12-year-old women too. I shouldn't judge, but definitely 12-year-old target demographic WWF boys were in. They were in.
12-year-old Liam was definitely in.
So moving on, we get a noticeable cut here. So I go over to the OG broadcast and find out we get a crazy ad that never becomes real. We get an ad for WrestleMania 2001, which becomes WrestleMania 17. They stop the 2000s counts. So they're just like, March 1987, WWF sets indoor attendance records. Records don't bend, they break. WrestleMania 2001, Houston Astrodome.
Oh my God.
Well, folks, we're going to be in the Astrodome next year back in Houston, Texas. It's going to be a hell of a time for WrestleMania 2001. Like, that's branding goes bye-bye. Like, quickly. We're back to Roman numerals real quick.
XVII, baby.
No. We don't get back to numerals until the next year because 17 is X7 and 7 is spelled out. Which is also some 2000s era branding. So, after that, we get the failed WrestleMania 2001 ad. We go backstage, and the Radicals are hanging out. Dean Malenko, WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, Eddie Guerrero, and Perry Saturn are chilling. They're talking about being too cool. And what cracks me up about this is Eddie is looking at himself in Dean's light heavyweight title, like fixing his hair. He couldn't give a shit about anything else as long as he looks good to swoon China. Like, it was awesome.
You see the twinkle in her eye?
Yeah, you see the twinkle in her eye? He's fun. He's in. He's about China. Oh, dude. We'll say this now. King and Lawler. Actually, we'll just go to the match because the only thing that happens that we're missing on the back is Too Cool tells China not to worry about it, and we're gonna go beat him up. And they do the little finger. They touch fingers. Brings us to the 6-person tag. Radicals, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn versus Too Cool, who are Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty versus China. Like I said previously when we started to talk about in the last match how King becomes checked out after his main event. These two are unhinged on commentary at these intros. JR, nothing can be finer than seeing China take care of some business in this match. Like, what? Dude.
I want to know where JR gets these isms from.
Dude, there's more. There is more here. King's getting down because Grandmaster Sexay is his son.
Yeah.
I don't say that, but King, it doesn't seem fit for you to say get down. And King immediately goes, "I'll bust a move on you so fast, JR."
Oh man,
I got one more because this one's the most unhinged of them all. King is hyping up that Eddie likes China, and JR goes, "Well, I think China has been vaccinated from legitimate. She's been taking her pills." Jesus.
Yeah, JR is like he's got some good ones, and then there's some odd ones. There's one that I'll point out later. But as I was noticing with Grandmaster Sexay in China, I was like, oh, those two have unfortunately have passed away. And I realized how many people have passed away at this specific WrestleMania, because you have China, Test, Big Boss Man, Grandmaster Sexay, Crash Holly, and Eddie Guerrero.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. So this is how terrible of a wrestling fan my friend and I are. We've definitely played road trip games where we're trying to figure out the WrestleMania card, and we'll say the name of one person against dead, and you have to figure out who the dead person is. It's fucked, right? And I think like that's a terrible game. But like me, who have played that game on many road trips, didn't even put together. There's what'd you say, 7, 8 people that are gone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, at least 6 people.
This is the 25th year anniversary of the show. So
yeah,
God, dude, like all of those people should still be here.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is
they're not over 40 at this point. They should all still be here.
Yeah, no, they should be like most of them should be in like their 50s or 60s. And then what's even crazier, I think it was 99, the Royal Rumble 99. I think a majority of those people are actually passed away because that one had like Davey Boy Smith and a couple of other people. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was like 99 and 98 where a majority of the people that were in that Rumble have already passed away.
Yeah, it's
like not to be a Debbie Downer, but like that's.
Well, just, I mean, unfortunately, this becomes where we say it's a sign of the time in the wrestling industry, like drugs, steroids, parties, crazy lifestyles, crazy stories, crazy road stories. Like they're not as evident anymore as they were back then.
Yeah,
these things still happen, but they're a dime a dozen compared to it being the regular.
Yeah, it's not as running rampant.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I was a big Too Cool fan. So like I had the bucket hat, like spiking my hair through it with like the baseball jersey and the sunglasses. Like I was a total fucking nerd for Too Cool.
Okay, so you speak of the sunglasses. I had those really shitty Christian sunglasses where the
that went over the head.
That went over the head instead.
Yeah.
Good thing. Yeah, it's so bad.
So, like again, like just the 2000s was such an interesting time, like with fashion. Like it was lawless.
Cool is like what I miss from 2000s fashion. Like get your lugs out, get your fucking get your Jankos.
Yeah. I remember wanting Jankos so bad, my mom just hating those. So I never got the Jankos.
Two different hemispheres, same world for me, dude. I knew both those guys. I had friends wearing the lugs and friends wearing the Jankos. I was like, "What's up, homie?"
Dapping him up.
So back to it. Too Cool looking fly for 2000.
Hella fly.
Scott and Eddie start off. Eddie wants China in, and Scotty loses his hat during their international, and King showing his favorite. That's a lid.
Yeah, that whole like back and forth. He had like the do-rag with the braids on it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's a do-rag, and he's like, oh, his do-rag. He's like, oh, you got it. And then like hearing JR say Grandmaster sexy.
Sexy, yeah.
Sexy.
I have written down or later on when he's talking about the do-rag. JR's like, oh, I know what a front face lock is, though, as he tosses the do-rag outside. See, I'm a quick learner. That cracked me up. I was like, JR defending his fucking pop culture status right now.
He's in it. He's hip.
He's hip. Scotty and Eddie start off. Eddie wants China in. Scotty loses his hat during the international. Scotty tags into China. Eddie runs away on his knees like a coward, tagging Malenko. This is dumb. Malenko sets China up for a powerbomb. He kicks her in the middle of the ring, puts her in between, and then they walk over to the side of the ring to let Scotty clothesline Malenko. That made no fucking sense to me at all. I was like, what the fuck?
Nah, it was like super fucking awkward.
That was awkward as fuck. Double suplex from China and Grandmaster to Malenko. China and Sexy do the dance together. The crowd came alive for that.
They did.
Once again, dude, the gimmicks and the ballyhoo in 2000s, the crowd came alive for these two dancing.
Especially with Scotty Too Hotty's worm. Like I always remember whenever he's doing the worm, the WORM as he's like doing the thing, and like that's just he's literally doing a fucking worm. Like it's not anything technical.
No. King, with one of his most offensive lines of the night. China might be getting moist.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Was this a reference to Eddie?
Yes.
Yeah, because wasn't he like bumping and grinding and shit, like thrusting his hips like Rick Rude?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eddie hits a big time hot shot on a Scotty. And then cheap shots China in the corner. And let's see here. Grandmaster comes in. Oh shit, my notes fucked up. Okay, so Grandmaster comes in and then Perry Saturn takes over and he goes through this crazy big ass elevation top rope elbow drop that he fucking
huge.
Overjumped and barely connected.
I think even JR made a comment. He's like, he didn't get a hold of that one, but he got some of it.
That was some elevation, but he might have went a little far. Yeah, JR definitely like tried to cover up, like he got a little bit of it. That was impressive though. China gets the hot dat tag. Guerrero runs away. Malenko and Saturn bump and feed. China slams both. China breaks her gear here. She's now struggling the rest of this match to like keep her pants up. Handspring elbow to both Saturn and Malenko while her pants are falling down. Eddie cuts off China. Eddie, low blow. That's right. Double low blow. Eddie cuts off China. Eddie goes to powerbomb China. China gets out. Powerbombs Guerrero. Guerrero bounces off the ropes, and China grabs Guerrero by his Latino heat.
Yeah, it gets a whole handful of them.
It's a whole head. That gets a pop. Puts him in a sleeper and like does like the layout to like make it like an impactful move. I don't know what you call that, but pins him off it. China pins Eddie Guerrero cleanly off of this sleeper impact slam. I'm not sure what to call the move.
Yeah, I don't know either, but yeah, definitely got the win over Eddie Guerrero and the New Radicals, which is really interesting because I remember like when the New Radicals came in, like they were like a hot thing because Benoit just won the championship at WCW and then he dips out and then Malenko and Saturn went with him too.
Malenko, Saturn, and Eddie go with Eddie breaks his arm on his first night in the company, which I think why these three kind of got the treatment they got here. Only because at this point, Vince only sees Benoit as value, as like the highest value of the four.
Yeah.
Which is illustrated by the positioning in the card. Like these three are in a 6-person tag while Benoit's in a double title match.
Yeah. No, it's super apparent, which sucks because like Malenko was really fucking good. Like he's a tactician master. Like that dude's the man of 1,000 holds.
All three of these guys are really fucking good, and WWF fans at this time hadn't. If you were a wrestling fan that was only watching WWF at the time, you had no clue how good these three guys were. No clue.
No, because this was even after with Eddie had his match with Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Yeah,
this
so
is, like Eddie's. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say this is like I feel like while Eddie was in WCW, he didn't get like a whole lot of character time, but I feel like as he comes to WWF, like he starts growing more of a character and starts kind of getting his stride and what, like got him over and, made his legacy.
He becomes a fun-loving, cheating psychopath, and it's an awesome character.
Well, and plus they even do the famous, China and Eddie Guerrero pairing.
Yeah, that I think that happens like shortly after this, actually, like within weeks. They end up pairing them up, and that just runs for the rest of the year almost.
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it was for quite some time. So this is this next
you said this, and I immediately start laughing because this is my second favorite segment. The last summer was my first favorite segment. This one's nuts for a completely different reason. All right, so go ahead and talk about it.
So they had a sweepstakes going on for WrestleMania that you enter and then you get tickets to go to WrestleMania. So they have the whole hoopla of everyone come up with the cameras and the lighting to come tell them that they won, and like it's this lady like in her house smoking her cigarette smoking her cigarette inside, like kids all around, like holy shit.
Dude, okay. So we get this crazy shot of a WWF limo turning down and passing a sign that says Allentown 2 miles away. So I'm assuming, because I this is based off of wrestling history knowledge, not general and geographical locations. I'm assuming this is Allentown, Pennsylvania. Because anytime I hear Allentown in wrestling, I immediately think Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So in theory, this lady got flown out day of. Like, that's what they're trying to present here.
Yeah.
Like, she was having a WrestleMania party. The husband is even like, we get a knock at the door. We figure it was just more people showing up for the party.
That's right.
And it's like fucking OVW's Jobber Squad. So the developmental boys are here to be your escorts.
Come on, get in the fucking limo. We gotta go. We got WrestleMania to get to.
Limo. We're going to fucking WrestleMania. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. So they're hosting a WrestleMania party, and I'm guessing this is intended to give the vibe that these people bought the all day long broadcast. Like, they're watching the all day long thing.
That, you know,
like, these are the people that care about wanting to know what Travis Kelce's experience was like about taking a crap on Taylor Swift's private jet.
Hey, the diehard fans.
Dude, her shirt is just rock.
Rock.
No, rock.
Rock. I'm wearing my rock shirt. It's like no branding, nothing.
They cut and they show Bridget. Her name was Bridget. Bridget brings her husband with her. And they show them front row. He reminds her to hold the fucking sign up. It says like, I WWF won these tickets or whatever.
Clever.
Bridget's
a clever one.
We just watched Bridget give like 6 to 7, 8 to 15-year-olds lung cancer.
Dude.
I'm on a plane drinking champagne with some strawberries, and I'm gonna go see Rock.
It's like where are the kids at, by the way?
Dude, yeah, who's watching the kids?
It's like, all right, left you some microwavable TV dinners. We'll be back tomorrow.
I got Tostino's pizza rolls in the freezer for you. Don't burn them. 400 degrees on the oven.
30 minutes. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that part is just wild as shit.
Dude,
like,
that was nuts. That was fucking nuts.
Yeah, the fucking her answering the door with the cigarette just absolutely sent me.
Lit cigarette kid right behind her inside. No 2000s for sure.
Oh man. But yeah, and then there was the Big Show and then Shane backstage segment after this one, right?
Yeah. So what I really liked about this is one key fact about this is Shane's just doing simple hype shit, hyping up show. He starts talking crap about the McMahons, except for his mom. Yeah. Like, character trait. He's like, I still like mom. Foley sucks, but mom's mom. Like, he's not going to go fight with mom. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go fight, but I'll go fuck with the other two for sure. Mom.
He's a man that loves his mama.
Yeah, he's a mom. I like that. He's got a little character trait. He's like, I'm not going to fight mom. Oh, that's fine. This goes to Kurt Angle. We get a recap of Kurt Angle killing Bob Backlund earlier on Heat. Yeah. Kurt is now asking for extra security for after his match.
Yeah, because all the fans are contacting him, so he just wants to get ahead of it after he wins his two fall match.
Yep, he's like, get me out of here. I'm done. All these fans are hitting me up. God. And so that brings us to the 2-fall triple threat match. First fall for the Intercontinental Championship. Second fall for the European Championship. Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle, who is your European and Intercontinental Champion. What I have noted here, first thing, is Benoit is huge.
Yeah, Benoit is huge in this one. Like
Benoit looks like he got on the WWF cycle the second he got out of WCW.
Yep. It's like, well, I'm gonna make myself look good.
He's like, Vince is gonna want 30 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Kurt Angle gets his intro redubbed by Fink on the new release for some reason. It's like there's this weird audio pitch change that you can clearly notice. I went back and listened to it 3 times.
Really?
And I was like, there's something off here. And I go back to the OG. And like Fink's done introducing Angle like 3 seconds before the new podcast where it has him done. Like, I don't know why. Something in like within the audio must have been messed up where they had to have him do that. But I couldn't figure out why. Y2J came out first, but he cut a promo talking about how he might win, he might not. But he's still cool. All of his opponents are fools. You said a couple of his lines earlier. Talk shit about Kurt Angle and if I remember correctly, Chris Benoit is Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, Mr. Roboto. Dude, I love this era like of Chris Jericho. Like, just so good.
So we'll get into this a little later. There is an ad for Backlash, and the only reason I'm bringing it up because it's during Chris Jericho's match.
Yeah.
There's an ad for Backlash, and 3 of the 4 people listed on the advertisement are in the main event. Who was the other one? Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
They clearly are seeing something for him at this point.
No, yeah, definitely.
Foley's leaving. We're losing a top face. We're putting Jericho in on the ad reels now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, too, even on the Peacock, like when on the little card, like it was Jericho, Big Show, Rock, and Triple H. Like it wasn't even fucking Mick Foley on there, who was the 4th participant.
Right. They, like the Peacock description doesn't even say Mick Foley. They just list all the people that are on it. Jericho's named. Yeah. So WWF is definitely looking at Jericho as more than what he was at the time, and they're positioning him for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Benoit per Harville's angle before he could get all of his gold off.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
fuck your gold. I'm beating your ass.
and the one thing I really liked about this match, and I guess it's kind of in comparison to like the style of like how triple threats are, multi-man matches are going on. Like there's no fucking like long periods of laying around and people like off camera, waiting for their spot. Like it's just boom, 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 boom.
They may do that, but they hide it, and it's boom, 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 like you said. Instead of one guy powdering out for 2 minutes, he's lying in the corner for like 10, 15 seconds. Some guy takes a move, and then he's back up. That other guy's selling, they're fighting in the ring, and it boom, 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 like you said. Instead of doing those long stalling spots where they're in and out, they're pop, 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 pop. They're keeping the action going fast.
No, they are. Like, and I think it just goes to show like the talent of these 3. Like these dudes are like insanely fucking talented, and
I mean, even the moves I have written down here said they were just popping shit off. Benoit cuts off Y2J during his triangle dropkick where he runs to the rope, springboards, and drop kicks them when they're standing on the apron. Benoit Angle fight on the apron, and Jericho says, "Fuck you, I'm getting my triangle dropkick in."
Yeah, finally gets it in. And then there's like the one spot where Jericho and Benoit are like trading chops in the corner, and then Jericho does like this double underhook backbreaker onto Angle, and then like fucking just go it off, and then Jericho climbs up to the top rope, and then Benoit knocks Jericho off the top rope into the announce table. Like Benoit does a quick snap suplex on Angle for a 2 count. A lot of quick pins too.
A lot of quick pins.
Another back body drop from Benoit onto Angle for a 2 count, and then Jericho comes in, drop kick off the second rope. He goes for a 2 count. Like just. It, like all this shit is like rapid fire. Like it was kind of like how the hardcore match was earlier. Like I had to pause, type down what happened, click play.
Yeah,
all right,
I found myself doing that quite a bit here. Quite a bit, having to go back and trying to see like what happened. Where were we? It was snap suplex. Oh, here we go. Angle gets the crossface chicken wing on Jericho. Benoit breaks up the hold, dumps Angle to the outside, and then throws him to the front row. Whoever caught Angle is wearing a Vince McMahon mask. I thought that was funny. Benoit then goes to the top rope, and he hits the flying headbutt, and he is your new Intercontinental Champion. What I really like about this, though, Benoit doesn't fuck around. Oh, we're right in the second ball. Tries to pin Jericho right away.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to scoop myself up a second championship.
Angle makes it back in time to break it up.
Yeah, there was one spot where Angle like tries to stop or Angle stops Benoit, who's Jericho, who has Benoit in the camel clutch. And then Angle, I'm trying to read my notes here. Angle tries to stop into Jericho, attacks Angle, gets Angle in a standing suplex. Benoit tries to get the pinfall.
Yeah.
King asks JR, he said, how mad would that make you? You knock a guy out for someone else to win the championship. And JR responds, bad enough to eat fried chicken. I'm like, where the fuck does that...
Dude, he's unhinged now. He doesn't care anymore. He's fucking... Vince is going to be out there in the main event. I'm saying whatever the fuck I want tonight.
Going off the fucking deep end, eating fried chicken.
Dude, fucking... Angle climbs to the top rope. Jericho cuts him off. Benoit cuts off Jericho. Back suplex to Jericho. And then Angle does his stupid moonsault and Benoit moves out of the way. Splat.
Flops that one. Yeah, that was a big moonsault for a flop.
Dude, here's another reason why you knew they were throwing. Benoit hits Angle with a dragon suplex. Shitty pin attempt. Angle's shoulder clearly up while Tim White's making the count. Tim White gets bumped here from Benoit, or by Jericho, dodging a flying elbow from Benoit. Benoit gets Jericho to tap to the crossface. No referees to be found. Benoit's livid. Jericho comes back, gets Benoit onto the walls. Angle has a belt and nails Jericho with it. So we're now almost basically triple down. Benoit pulls Jericho out of the ring while Angle is pinning him. Benoit goes up to headbutt Angle from top, misses. Angle rolls out of the way. Jericho comes back in. Lion salt to Benoit, and Jericho pins Benoit. Angle loses both of his belts without losing either fall.
Yeah. Kept him looking strong.
I think he still hasn't, quote-unquote, officially lost here. Because he tries to protest that the Taz loss at the Royal Rumble was a choke. And he never got pinned here or submitted or anything.
Really?
So I think he's character-wise, he's still trying to claim he's undefeated.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're doing with him here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because this is. I think he just shortly came in, like, probably.
He started in September or November last year, Survivor Series.
Okay, so yeah, so he's
5 months into his run. 6 months later, he's the WWF champion.
Yeah, fucking
he's
insane.
I have written down here, Angle is irate, and then seconds later, JR, Angle is irate.
He said, what's an I word for furious? And then,
yeah. I was like, damn it.
But at least you're on the same page as good old JR.
I know, that was like, I do feel a little bit validated. JR used my I word that I went with as well.
I also, real quick, I was trying to remember, the Walls of Jericho was originally called the Lion Tamer, right? Was that in WCW or?
Yes. It was the Lion Tamer in WCW. Okay. It may have even been Lion Tamer in ECW. I don't remember if he did it back then. But it never was the Lion Tamer in WWF. It was always Walls of Jericho.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like writing down, I was like, Lion Tamer. I was like, no, it's Walls of Jericho. I was like, when the fuck did he have Lion Tamer? But okay.
Yeah, that was some WCW stuff. So Angle's irate, and we go backstage to Michael Cole with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon. Not Mr. McMahon. Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Cole asks Vince if any of the other McMahons in the corners will be a factor in the match. Vince says, I've heard the McMahon family is dysfunctional, but I guarantee tonight, here at WrestleMania, to make things right. He didn't sound like Mr. Man, though, because he's Vince here. But we then get Triple H angry and pacing. He just heard everything Vince said. It doesn't matter what's right. It doesn't matter who's the best, or it matters who's the best. I'm going to show the world who's the best. I am the game. I am the WWE champion because I am that damn good.
Won't be beaten because he won't allow it.
He won't allow it. Live broadcast gets a quick ad read for WrestleMania's sponsor of the night, Snickers. Hungry, grab a Snickers. The only reason I was able to tell there was another weird cut here is because they were definitely doing like, oh, we're here in Anaheim for WrestleMania. 18,000 people here. And King our next match, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden just.
Dad, there was another. I think this might have been that cut because there was one, or I can't remember. Angle's like talking, and then like he finishes talking, and then it's like a weird.
Yeah.
I think this might have been it.
Yeah. So we then move on to our next match, which is your co-main event of the evening. Your co-main event for WrestleMania 2000 is D-Generation X of Road Dogg Jesse James and X-Pac with Tori against Kane and Rikishi with Paul Bearer.
Yeah. Oh.
This could have been the try. This could have been the triple threat match we just had as the co-main.
Nah, we putting this up towards the top, baby.
We gotta have a bathroom break. So let's see here. DX comes out with that badass Run DMC version of their
song. Fucking the Aggression CD. I remember being a kid walking around with the fucking boombox, just skating around my grandma's neighborhood with that shit blasting, thinking I was tough as fuck.
That album was dope.
It was dope.
This song was the main reason to own the album. The rest of the album just happened to be good.
Yeah. Nah,
speaking of WWF music remixes, Disturbed just re-released a remastered version of their Stone Cold Steve Austin theme, which is rad.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. I saw that the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm curious enough that I'm interested.
Awesome.
No, the Disturbed one specifically?
Both.
Okay,
Both.
The Jim Johnson one is a fucking classic. Like,
yeah.
But the one thing as Xbox and Road Dogg coming out that made me laugh was JR called Tori a Jezebel, and then King says, Jezebel, she's hot, and then Respawn says, I didn't say she's not hot, and then I'm just like, oh, it's a subtle confirmation that JR thinks that Tori's hot.
JR, God damn it, King, I am a happily married man, but that Tori is attractive. Dude, those two go back into unhinged commentary while these two are coming out. Yeah. Rikishi's walking out, JR, and he will back that ass up. JR, big juvenile Cash Money Records fan. Girl, you look good when he bagged that ass up.
What is he? He's like the I couldn't hear the first word. It sounded like he said prostate of posteriors.
The prostate of posteriors.
I was like typing it out, and I'm like, the prostate of posteriors. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
King is all, it should beep when he backs up.
God.
Dude, these two are clearly like, fucking Vince is gonna be out here. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Like, fuck it. And then obviously Road Dogg does gets on the mic and says that it's time for them to get sticky like the buds that are kind. And for those that aren't familiar, he's talking about marijuana.
Marijuana.
And then he says 2 tears in a bucket. If you don't like that, we got 2 words for you.
Soggy. Road Dogg still doing the New Age Outlaw gimmick without Billy Gunn.
Yeah. And again, same thing. Not the most technically proficient wrestler, but had enough something that got crowd involvement.
Crowd involvement. I have noted here, camera cuts over to Paul Bearer and Tori. I haven't seen that happen before, but Paul Bearer, the first thing you hear is Paul Bearer, you could go to hell. And then Tori slaps the shit out of him.
Got his hand on his hip like all sassy lady, dude.
Sassy.
Fucking dude, that shit got me.
He's unhinged later on in this match. Like, everyone that goes unhinged, but his physical actions later is way unhinged.
Yeah.
Kane comes out to goozle Tori, and X-Pac makes the save. Through 30 seconds into this match, Road Dogg's getting the stink face.
So the thing that makes me laugh is that, as Rikishi's getting set up to lay the stink face on him, just like the death stare while he's like slapping his ass, it just always makes me laugh. It's just, every time, like, it's just it's almost like you just hear an ass slap in the distance, and then it's just like, fuck, he's coming.
The eyes just go. It's like you see Jurassic Park, the water, as the T-Rex gets closer.
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Tori almost gets stink faced, but DX makes a save. DX try to leave. Rikishi and Kane bring him back to the ring. DX takes over, and we get X-Pac sucks. X-Pac sucks. It was back in the 2000s. X-Pac was getting heat. X-Pac was catching strays ever since he turned in 2000. He broke Kane's heart, and everyone's like, fuck you.
You're done. Get out.
Yeah. What I really like here is Road Dogg starts to work some offense on a Rikishi. He realized his regular right hand punch won't knock Rikishi over. So he hits the ropes and hits a running right hand to knock him over. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Nah, that was a good one. He gives that little shimmy and shake knee drop.
Yep. X-Pac back in. Rikishi hits a pop-up cutter on X-Pac from out of nowhere.
Because it was
go.
I was gonna say, like, I had a tough. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because like I see something going on, but like the ref's like blocking the camera view, and like you have to catch. But yeah, he cuts that pot. Like I wish that was like a clearer shot.
Dude, what cracked me up the most about this spot is he does a wrestling school forward roll to make the hot tag to Kane. I was like, yeah, fundamentals. DX bumping feet here. Road Dogg gets lined over the top. Kane whips X-Pac to the corner clothesline. Pac falls in the stink face position, and Tori saves him. They keep teasing these stink faces like crazy here. Paul Bearer cuts Tori off, rolls her in. Kane goozles her.
Yeah.
Fucking shoves her into the corner. I thought Tori hit her back of her head on one of those turnbuckles on the way in. Dude, that was
pretty rough.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was scary. And Rikishi, he will back that ass up, and he backs that ass up onto Tori.
Oh, man.
X-Pac gets with Tombstone, and that's it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there was something I forgot to mention during the when Rikishi gave the stink face to Road Dogg. He's like, sticking all that big old butt in the Road Dogg for the love of ass.
JR here at the end after Tori gets the fucking stink face. Tori has a terminal case of ass breath thanks to Rikishi.
Oh my god, dude.
These two are unhinged at this point. Too Cool make their way out to dance. Some mascot comes out too. King and JR are immediately like, fuck you, Pete. That's Pete Rose. Don't do it, Pete. Don't do it. Don't do it, Pete. The mascot's just trying to hang out with Too Cool and dance. They do the dance.
Get the groove going.
Big Quiche gets the glasses on. Everyone pops. Scotty hits the worm. Kishi backs that ass up. And then for some reason, lights come back on. Kane just immediately goozles the mascot. Like, we don't know it's Pete Rose, and we're confirmed as Pete Rose comes sliding into the ring with a baseball bat.
Swerving the night.
Dude, so Kane's a super dick here. Kane's super dick, goozling the mascot for no reason. Rikishi stops Pete Rose from hitting Kane with the bat. Okay, cool. Kane turns around, thankfully stops goozling the mascot. Goozles Pete Rose and chokeslams him to hell. Paul Bearer here runs up as soon as he's done bumping and does the craziest crotch chops, telling Pete Rose to suck it.
It's like Smokey coming up to him like, you got knocked the fuck out.
Dude, that's really what it was. He literally was Smokey. Fuck you, you got knocked out. Rikishi tells Too Cool to put Pete Rose in the position. Kishi looks at Bear and Kane. They give him the nod of approval, and we get the stink face Pete Rose. Once again, Pete's made an ass of himself.
Fucking one of the greatest unspoken feuds, Kane and Pete Rose.
Dude, they never had a match.
No.
They never had a match.
They should have at least done like a quick squash match or something, but...
Yeah, or like someone should have actually helped Pete Rose get the win.
Yeah. That would have been interesting. But then it's like...
Some big show. Like some big giant Kane's feuding with or something like that. It can't be like regular... Yeah. Can't be like regular Joe Schmo heel who's not bigger than Kane. It has to be some like big dude.
Yeah, you can't hurt Kane.
No. This brings us backstage to The Rock with Kevin Kelly. And this is where this crowd confirms to me, fuck you, Mick Foley. The pop he gets here is like, go away.
Yeah.
We're here for The Rock.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's definitely like impassioned during this promo. He's like talking about 12 months ago, after every interview, after every run-in, after backstab, after every win, after every loss, goes through like the list of like finishers and stuff like that. The way he cuts, the way he kind of like segues into the like he's like, oh, if I was asked if I would do it again, I would say, finally, like, The Rock has come back to WrestleMania, but it's like this weird like segue, and I like played it back. I was like, that didn't. You're just shoehorning that in there.
You're just making it get in there.
Yeah, but it fucking got the crowd going though.
Dude, the crowd was in. Rock says he's winning for the millions and millions. If you smile, dude's over. We then get celebrity roll call.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile's ringside. Short.
So actually, real quick, there's actually a funny story with Michael Clark Duncan. So one of the house shows, my mom took me to for my birthday. I looked to confirm when it might have been. I think it was like on a July 8th house show. But my mom got floor tickets right outside the entrance where they were coming out, and then Michael Clark Duncan was like sitting over there, and my mom pointed it out. So 12-year-old me walked over and met Michael Clark Duncan. Like that was that whole fucking night. Yeah, that whole night was like a crazy experience because my mom was like, "Get your shoes on. We gotta go help my friend move a dresser." And then we're like driving up to Anaheim Pond, and then I was like, damn, that'd be cool to go see wrestling. And then like we get off on the exit, and I was like, oh shit. And then
we're going to see wrestling.
Yeah. That was super. That's like one of my favorite like moments as a kid. But yeah, that was definitely a special time.
Dude, that's rad. That's so rad. That Michael Clark Duncan.
Rest in peace, sir. Another one that went.
Another dead guy. Sad. There's actually another one, or at least one in this list.
Yeah.
Coming up. We also get Martin Shorts here. French Stewart, famous from Third Rock of the Sun. Screech, Dustin Diamond.
I like how he's in the back. He's just like,
what
about me? What about Dustin? What about Screech?
And there's a couple other ones that I get their name. Dustin Diamond also passed.
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah.
He passed a few years ago, if I remember correctly. More recently.
All right. And now we are Superstar Roll Call brings us to our main event of the evening. It is the WWF Championship 4-way elimination pinfall only match. Mick Foley with Linda McMahon versus Big Show with Shane McMahon versus The Rock with Vince McMahon versus Triple H, your WWF champion, with new World Wrestling Federation Women's Champion Stephanie McMahon Helmsley.
Yeah. So the thing that's really interesting about this storyline too is that like everything's kind of like interwoven within it, like how we mentioned earlier, how Mick Foley and Triple H had their feud of Mick Foley getting kicked out. Rock and Big Show had their story from the Royal Rumble in 2000, the one that Rock won, but it was like due to controversy. Big Show saying that his feet hit first. So it's kind of like a continuation of like what was going on with them during that time. And then, they just pretty much played out the controversy throughout the year. And eventually this is where they got to.
Yep. And we first come out, first thing I have noted is HHH has his fucking awesome theme song, My Time.
Yeah.
JR tries to get thick and sentimental for Foley, but this is the TV feed. Crowd's not buying it. Crowd's not hearing it anyway, but crowd's not buying it as is. Linda brought Mick back because it was the right thing to do.
Calls her the matriarch of the...
Show looks in great shape for Big Show. Holy shit. He's looking great here. Rocket's pop of the night. Yeah, go again, Foley. Go away. You're not winning. This is our baby face. JR tries to make sure the rules are clear to everyone at home. Countouts, forget about it. Time limits, forget about it. No disqualifications. Pinfall only, thanks to Vince McMahon a couple days ago. So we clearly are setting up pinfall only. Everything's about to just get fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it does.
Yeah. It definitely does. Show dominates to start slamming and tossing everybody around.
They made him look fucking strong.
Yeah, which I would have liked for him to stay in longer, but we'll get to that. Foley hops on Show's back, and Show just back bumps.
Yeah. Like, all right, take you out, no problem, easy peasy.
That needs to be done more. I was like, yeah, that probably sucked. That's probably why it's not done more. But oh, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, especially with how big fucking Big Show was. Big nasty bastard, as described on
Yeah,
his
the
t-shirt.
big nasty bastard on his shirt. That's right. Big Show tries to choke slam Triple H. Foley kicks Show low in the balls. All of a sudden, all three are now teaming up on Big Show. All three hit clotheslines, but Show only bumps for Rock.
Yeah.
Foley lines Triple H over the top. And this, I thought, for a second, I thought Mick was going to do that spot where he gets his
the head caught in the
tied into the ropes and stuff, but he just kept going over. Show and Rock are still in the ring. Foley has a chair. Rock and Show start to go back and forth. Shane hops up on the apron. Rock punches him to hell. Show goes around the ropes, and Foley whacks him in the back with a chair. Rock hits the rock bottom, and Show's gone.
Yeah.
Just boom. Quick. We made him look like $1 million for 5 minutes, and then rug pulled.
Yep. Now the one thing that made me laugh was when they were doing the thing where Mick Foley was punching Big Show, and then Triple H joined in, and then Rock joined in, like they all synchronistically just.
Yeah, all three of them at the same time. That was good. I did like that a lot.
And then what else? There was
I got here. Vince and Stephanie both wave goodbye to Shane.
Yeah. But yeah, what's interesting too is they kind of play with the story dynamic of like, since now that Big Show's gone, they're Rock and Triple H, or excuse me, Triple H trying to talk to Rock about like double teaming on Mick Foley, and then Rock is kind of like, oh, you want to double team Mick over here, kind of like,
Yeah. Triple H asks Foley first, and Foley gives the visible no. And Rock, you can see Rock on camera. Fuck yeah.
Well, then what's funny is, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, they go to walk down Mick, and Rock just blams Triple H in the head.
Boop. Big fucking pop on that one.
You stupid bitch. Rock and Sock Connection are back now.
That's right. Yeah, I fucking love the Rock and Sock Connection. That was such another tag team, another deep tag team in the. Well, I guess it wasn't current at this time, but like
they weren't current at that time. But it's more evidence of how deep the tag division was around the era.
Yeah.
The beatdown of Triple H moves outside. Foley tosses Rock the ring bell. Foley holds up Triple H. Rock swings, but HHH dodges, and Foley gets murdered by the bell. Triple H beats down the Rock, comes to attack Foley. Foley has this barbed wire 2x4, and Triple H is powdering. He's scared. We built this up over the last two shows at Royal Rumble and No Way Out as Foley's weapon. I mean, at No Way Out, they lit it on fire on top of the roof of the Hell in a Cell. Back in the ring, Foley swings, misses. Triple H gets the weapon, hits Foley in the abdomen. God damn it, WWF. Why does the guy with the shirt have to take the barbed wire move?
Playing it safe.
I know. My blood. This is the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Let it spill. Let it run freely, like Joey Abs.
Where's my dead bodies?
Yeah. Then after that, like Rock starts interfering. Triple H. Rock starts attacking Triple H, and then Mick get a double arm DDT, pulls out Mr. Sacco, Jesus, gets a mandible claw on Triple H, and then Rock hits Triple H with the belt. Rock sets up for the people's elbow. Mick gets a claw on Rock. Fucking Triple H gets a double low blow. All three men are down for the crowd, singing, starting chants for the Rock. And then Vince is kind of just chilling by the ring apron, slides a chair underneath the ring.
It's weird. It's just let's put this chair right here.
But
like he was a Bob Ross painting. This is my low clap. Don't worry about my low clap.
That'll be our little secret.
That's our little secret. You're like, what?
The hell are you talking about? But yeah, then Triple H Irish whips the Rock into the corner. Rock explodes out, clotheslining Triple H. And then Mick Foley explodes out of the corner with another clothesline on the Rock. And then he goes for a pinfall, gets a 2 count. And then
Dude, right here. Triple H breaks up a pinfall attempt. And JR immediately, why would you do that? This is elimination.
Like, what? Okay. All right. Well, good. As you were.
Anyway, the match moves on.
Oh, my God. But yeah, and then they have the whole spot where Mick charges Rock with the chair. Mick gets kicked in the face with the chair. Yep. And then Rock reverses, gets Mick with the DDT. And yeah, Triple H. That's when Triple H interrupts for the 2 count. And then Triple H and Mick Foley start teaming up on the Rock. So again, they're playing
Foley,
with like
Foley's the one who offers the team up now.
Yeah.
He's the one who said, all right, let's get this guy. And then me and you can finally hash it out. We got blood. He's in the way. Let's go.
Yeah, he wants him to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is when they start mentioning the ages of everyone, because at this time Mick Foley was 34. What they mentioned.
Yeah, Mick Foley's 34. Rock is only 27 years old. Triple H is probably 28, 29, something like there at this point. So
yeah, something like that.
We got our young guns here. Oh my God.
Our young pups, our young lions.
Yeah, our goddamn young lions. Get out there in the goddamn black generic wrestling tights, you son of a bitch. So they offer to start beating up each other. Or Foley offers up the team up with Triple H, and they start to beat down Rock. Rock tries to choke Triple H with the camera cord, but Foley cuts it off with the steel steps. Mick climbs up to Brett's rope on the outside. Triple H puts Rock on the Spanish announce table. Foley goes in. Foley misses.
Got a whole fucking sternum full of announce table on that one. Like not even that. Like, you know, nobody was there. Like just literally just impact the fucking edge of it.
Table and edge. No fall. No nothing.
God,
Triple H tries to clean it up with an elbow drop, and the table still doesn't break.
Yeah, no, then he gets up, and then he jumps off the barricade, and then it finally breaks. Dude. Oh.
Triple H pedigrees Foley for missing his spot, but Foley kicks out it too.
If that doesn't he hit like another pedigree?
Yeah, Triple H hits him with a chair shot.
That's right, hits him with the chair shot.
And then he
gets the head.
Foley at least gets the hand up though. It's not like full, but then he hits a second pedigree and then Foley's gone.
That's right. Yeah, and then when Mick gets eliminated, like you could just hear the rage in JR's voice, like, damn it!
How dare that son of a bitch Triple H? That man is an icon. He's a household legend. Fans on hard cam unfold a big ass thank you Mick Foley sign. So they kind of cared, but we want Rock to win.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Thanks for all you done. Go away. Foley starts to leave, but Foley realizes this is his last night. Well, quote unquote. Leaving. Yeah. Oh my God. We'll even touch on that in the postgame. Foley offending. So Foley decides to walk back up, grabs the 2x4 and just blasts Triple H with it.
Yeah.
One more fuck you before I leave.
And then Foley chance start with that one. And then Rock unleashes. Rock tries to pin Triple H, gets a 2 count. Rock unleashes a bunch of punches on Triple H, and then Triple H tries to get back on the Rock, but gets dumped to the outside. And then they take it to the entranceway. Triple H tries to suplex Rock. Rock counters it. Gets him on concrete. Yeah, large thud. It's like, God damn, dude.
That was gross.
Yeah, you can. That one kind of made me like,
Yeah. I kind of elevated on my seat. I was like, oh God, that would suck.
But yeah, Rock's building momentum at this point, and then Rock just starts dragging Triple H through the crowd. They do this for like a few minutes of just like, I don't even know.
Definitely just walking and brawling. All of a sudden, I paid $100 or $1,000 for my front row seats, and now I've got $20 fucking nosebleed seats. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
They're walking and brawling. They come back. Triple H gets a steel chair. Rock grabs the steel steps, and Triple H swings the chair into the steps. Triple H starts to hit the Rock more with the steps the chair while he's laying under steps. He then pile drives the Rock on the steps.
That shit was nasty, dude.
Dude, I was like, oh, holy shit. Rock kicks out at 2. Triple H goes for the pedigree, too close to the ropes, and Rock back drops him at the outside.
Yeah.
It's this point right here where my mind gets pissed off at wrestling logic. So this match is no disqualifications or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
It's now just Rock and Triple H. Why isn't Vince just joining in and beating the shit out of Triple H? Why didn't Shane get involved in the beginning of the match? Why isn't Stephanie slapping the shit out of everyone?
Yeah. Add some extra panache into the match.
Like, this is where I'm like, hardcore matches should just be gang fights.
Yeah.
Like, my buddy's not gonna get disqualified. I get why it doesn't make sense for a show, but like when I am logically looking at wrestling, I'm like, this pisses me off.
Yeah, like we're gonna be jumping this motherfucker.
Be turning into World Star Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. So this eventually it gets to a point where Vince does start getting involved.
Yes, like within minutes after me typing that, Vince starts swinging, and I'm like, yay!
You're like, all right. So this is actually what made me laugh when I was talking about Joey Abs earlier, was that basically Vince comes in, starts messing with Triple H, and then Vince tosses Triple H into the post, and then Shane comes out and then gets Vince from behind, takes the monitor, busts the monitor over his head, and I think they start brawling on the outside. So Vince gets busted open, and he's got like this like little stream of blood coming down. It almost looks like a little curly cue from the doo-wop band.
Yeah.
And then JR is like, he's pouring blood by the court, and I'm like, fuck, if that's by the court, dude, Joey Abs is going by the gallon, because like that dude was fucking covered.
I was like, if McMahon's leading by the court, Joey Abs is on the Muda scale. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Like out of fucking control.
I got voted when Shane comes out. Michael Clark Duncan is not happy with Shane. He's fucking yelling at shit about it. Like, he even G's up one of these. And then JR's like, Michael Clark Clinton, this ain't the Oscars, buddy.
Yeah. It's like,
the Stooges come out to help Vince. Patterson, Briscoe, and a bunch of refs come out to sweep Vince out. Shane's still here. Rock and Triple H are going back and forth now. Shane is holding a chair for some reason. Yeah. Just chilling with the chair. Triple H gets the barbed wire too before it connects to the Rock's head. No blood!
No blood.
I'm not saying I have to have blood, but a barbed wire 2x4 to the head of it, bare skin.
That should be blood.
There should be blood.
No.
Triple H sets up for the pedigree. Shane slides in. Rock sweeps Triple H's legs and slingshots him into the corner. HHH trashes into Shane. Rock bottom Triple H. Rock can't make the cover. Shane gets up, has a chair. Vince runs back out and cuts off Shane. Vince grabs the chair and swerve, bro. Hits the Rock with the chair. Stephanie stun lock.
Yeah, the fucking 1,000-yard stare.
Has the look of like, what the fuck? I did that guy just a minute ago now. Triple H covers Rock 1-2 kick out. Vince is pissed, shoves the referee, hits the Rock again with the chair. Triple H covers, and we get a 3 count. Triple H is still your World Wrestling Federation champion.
So, fun fact real quick about that with Triple H winning. This is the first WrestleMania where the heel has won
the main event.
The main event. So
this WrestleMania was sandwiched with heel wins. We opened with a heel win, and we closed with a heel win. We don't go home with heels on top, but the matches results were definitely heels on top.
Heels on, for sure.
Triple H is still your champion. Vince kicks the Rock out of the ring. Stephanie and Mr. McMahon hug. Mr. McMahon, not Vince anymore. Mr. McMahon hug in the center ring. Trash is getting thrown into the ring, kind of like the NWO style. Shane climbs in the ring. He and Vince start to talk, and Rock realizes what has happened halfway up the entranceway, and he turns around possessed. He runs in the ring, rock bottom to Shane, rock bottom to Vince, rock bottom all the way to hell where Vince McMahon belongs. Stephanie starts to tend to Mr. McMahon and realizes the Rock is identified as an acquired target. Stephanie steps up the Rock with attitude, confidence, and swagger, slaps him, and then dies for her sins. Rock bottom to Stephanie. All right. Anyone else here gets fucking fired. Rock G's up the people's elbow on the $1 Billion Princess. Hits the elbow. Place is going nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
Stephanie doesn't move. Doesn't sell. Doesn't react. Doesn't nothing. Rock hits her moving. Rock hits his moving. She's still. Dude, anyone else on that fucking roster in that spot at that show is fired.
Yeah. Sure. He's like, I'll get away with this.
Like, she did nothing. JR's loving that. He got all three of the McMahons, but why did Vince screw the Rock? Why did Vince break his word? Good night from WrestleMania. And that's where the pay-per-view cuts.
Yep.
Fans got sent home happy. TV show ended on a happy note, but heels win. Heels get their victory. Heels come on the top. Surreally, though, or surreal. I don't know if that's even a proper word. But so the original broadcast now continues. We have a post-game WrestleMania extra. Like, this is the Super Bowl post-game. JR and King are sitting there. The table's broke. So they're at ringside still.
Yeah, they're penning like all over around.
We're getting shots of fans just leaving. JR and King are trying to talk about the show. We get some highlights, but I really focus in on the interviews that we get. First one is Hardcore Holly with Michael Cole. They're trying to cover up the botched finish of the Hardcore title. Hardcore doesn't give a fuck. He counted 3, and that's why I'm standing here, the Hardcore champion. I eat, sleep, and breathe Hardcore. Cole asks if Hardcore Holly's going to resume the 24/7 title, and he doubles it up. I'll do it 48-14. How about I get started with you, shithead? JR apologizes for the cursing. Man, what in the fuck? This is a family show, you fucking Hardcore Holly. We get more highlights. Kevin Kelly's with Edge and Christian, your new tag team champions. They put themselves over for beating the Dudleys. The Hardys. Edge sells a little bit more while getting interviewed. Foley gets an interview and just lets the cat out of the bag. He admits he won't have another match in a long time. This is within a half an hour of the show ending. So you're not retiring. You're going to come back.
He's coming back.
What the fuck? Dewey Foley, Kane Dewey, is on his lap. And he asks Dewey once he wants to go. And Dewey says he wants to go to Universal Studios. Foley shits all over Disneyland because they're not going to be at Disneyland. Pete Rose interview. Michael Cole and Pete are here. Pete keeps saying he's a competitor in regards to why he keeps going after Kane. Just repeats that 3 or 4 times, which they had to have had something else planned that just never happened. Like,
yeah, no.
They had to have had at least one more thing, and it fizzled out. Last thing we hear about is we get a promo from bloodied Mr. McMahon. Michael Cole asks Mr. McMahon why he hit the Rock, and Vince, or not Vince, Mr. McMahon is back in full Mr. McMahon mode. Do I, Vince McMahon, answer to you? What am I concerned with? Did you see what that coward did to my daughter? One thing you can take to the bank, Rock is not the WWF champion. Who is the champion? Triple H. Who is he married to? Stephanie, my daughter. I told you at WrestleMania, I'd make things right. Get the highlight video to play us out. And that was the end of the OG broadcast. This show's crazy. I live, this had to have been awesome. Watching some of these matches back was a chore.
Yeah. It's like 7. I think there was like 7 matches on the card. It was just like, oh, fuck.
Dude, it was more of more multi-mans. How am I going to keep track of this?
Yeah.
No,
that was like the main issue, because it was just like we said earlier, it would be like a stop, write it out, go back, make sure you got it right. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really, I think it's kind of got a little bit more shit talked on it than it should, just because like at this time it is like innovating, like we mentioned with the triple threat ladder match that would transpire into the TLC match, or the TLC matches that they did with the Hardy Boys and Dudleys and Edge and Christian. Even with the 4-way main event, like they had something pretty decently put together. Like there's reason why Rock and Big Show are going at it. There's a reason why Mick Foley and Triple H are going at it, and they encapsulate kind of like everything all at once in this main event, and further the insanity of the McMahon family.
One reason I think this WrestleMania doesn't get as much attention, if you will, for lack of a better term, or praise or whatever. 2 reasons. It has highlight spots, but it's surrounded by WrestleManias with way more notable historical spots. You got Austin's win at 14, the TLC match coming up next year. And then the fact that this WrestleMania is sandwiched by heel wins. Heel win to open the show and heel win to close the show. I'm not saying it's wrong, but like when you think, especially with WWF, which was historically a babyface promotion.
Yeah, sending the people home happy.
Well, they still try to, but opening and closing with heel wins is definitely not what that sells more Southern or WCW booking to me, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel like babyface WWF promotion would close out their biggest show or would open and close their biggest show with heel wins.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's maybe trying to do something different with.
Which I totally think they were trying to do something different. They recognized, especially since Vince Russo's not here, but he definitely got over the shades of gray idea in WWF. They're definitely trying to run with this more. I mean, you look at most of WWF's baby faces when they're top baby face, they kind of are heels.
Yeah. I mean, Austin was like a big tweener.
Austin was a big tweener. Rock sometimes acts heelish.
Yeah. I'd say Triple H was never really a tweener. Like,
no,
he was always more heel, but he just got over as a heel.
He typically was. He was either fucking I stole the franchise Shane Douglas ECW gimmick, or he was DX babyface. Yeah. Dude, he totally did. Like to like the fucking clothing and everything. Like it was almost like franchise. Like whoa, it was nuts.
Yeah.
The backwards koala hats that were cool at the time.
Yeah, with the scally cap.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
This show's crazy. I liked reviewing it. Watching it was rough.
Yeah.
And I think because it is a product of its time.
It definitely is. It's a nice little time capsule. It was a cool revisit.
Totally a time capsule. Made me laugh. Some of the shit that made me laugh on the show is just crazy. Like the WWF Hardcore Last Supper is like I kind of want to like fuck around on Photoshop or something and make that into a thing. Like Photoshop each of the entrances.
Oh my, that would be amazing. Oh my god.
Crashes in the middle.
It's got the scale like over his shoulder.
Taka and Funaki are holding their flag. Why is he hitting him with an umbrella? It doesn't rain in California.
Oh, it's a flag.
Yeah, it's a dumbass.
Yeah, no, it's a fun watch. Definitely a lot to get through, and
if I wasn't reviewing this would have been way more fun to watch.
Oh yeah, no. It would be, but yeah, just reviewing it was just like you said earlier, it was a chore. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we did it because it is a fun one.
This was a blast. Like, even though I'm sure there's quote unquote better shows, but this was fun to review. It was fun to watch. It's fun to talk about, even though some of the things were just crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think we'll
coming up over the next few weeks, we got some things going on. I got a Next Level show next weekend on Saturday, the 25th.
Hell yeah.
Up at the WrestlePlex here in Sacramento, California. I know we were talking about Jason Hastings coming on next week before the Danhausen match.
Yep. Yeah, have him come on.
I will see him. I'll be seeing him the night before at Next Level, so we'll confirm times and everything. Okay. So we have that coming up. We got a few TWF shows coming up. Tuolamale. I can never say the name. Tuolami. Dude, they're gonna hate me. I hope I just get to go and do coverage for the podcast because I'm gonna say their name wrong.
Tuolameme.
We got that show coming up. We also have Freeman's show up in Avery. We got this what is it in Stockton? Mystic. The Monk show.
Oh, the Stockton or the Shamrock Showdown.
Shamrock Showdown, yeah.
Yeah. They started announcing for that one.
And then we got Wrestlemania after that. So TWF's kicking off. I know we were talking about getting Paris on the show too, so it'd be good to talk to him before, especially since he's the one to run around with the tag belts over there.
Yeah.
But this was a different week for us. We may do these more when we have these like off weekends. It's probably a good topic to do when we don't have shows or anything to talk about. Next week we'll talk with Hastings. I'll talk about my experience at the Next Level show. I'll probably talk about Hastings' match in particular. I hope I get to ref it.
Hell yeah. Well, that should be a lot of fun.
I don't know what I'll be reffing or anything, but I can fingers crossed try to brother for it. But the wrestling scene's awesome here, and we thank each and every one of you for tuning into our silly shenanigans.
Yeah, we appreciate it, especially if you made it this far. Listen to our just bullshitting back and forth banter, giving our goofy ass insights about this. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. And also, real quick, want to plug ProWrestlingPlus.tv if you want to check out some of those local matches that go on around here in CWA and TWF, and I believe that they have a couple of other promotions.
There's a couple other promotions that are putting up stuff, but you predominantly see a lot of TWF and CWA, the NorCal area on ProWrestlingPlus.tv.
Yeah, so check it out and get yourself a subscription. And thank you again, guys. We appreciate you and love you, and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
See y'all next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful week.
Later.